From the Goodyear Blimp, Columbia, a live view of San Diego's Jack Murphy Stadium. A sellout plus crowd, of course, with the NFL's final divisional title on the line. It's ABC's NFL Monday Night Football, the Oakland Raiders against the San Diego Chargers.
What a tremendous wind-up night for the 12th year of Monday Night Football. The standings tell the story. The last playoff berth for the NFL playoffs at stake. If San Diego wins tonight on the basis of a better record within the AFC West, they'll be in the playoffs. If they lose, Denver will be in the playoffs. Watching tensely tonight, he'll be with us throughout the evening live from Denver with his little son Michael. Craig Morton, the Denver quarterback, will get his reactions visually and vocally. It is a wild, terrific evening here in San Diego, and here is the Gifford to talk about Jim Plunkett.
The question is whether or not Jim Plunkett will begin tonight or Mark Wilson. Jim Plunkett was scheduled. He was suddenly stricken with the flu. There's Mark Wilson, the second-year man out of Brigham Young. He would be making his 9th start if he goes tonight, but he suffered a sprained thumb on his throwing hand that last week against the Chicago Bears. And for this man, much is on the line tonight, not only a divisional title, but he can tie 2 NFL records, and he can also break 3 of which he already possesses. Dan Fouts having another great year. And the San Diego Chargers will be receiving the football. They have won the toss. As we have mentioned, a sellout crowd. The stadium holds 52,675. There are many more, I believe, that have worked their way into the stadium because it is all on the line for San Diego tonight. There is no tomorrow. They need to win. That, of course, holds true for the Denver Broncos, defeated yesterday by the Chicago Bears. And as they watch tonight, to the man, I'm sure, well, if San Diego can win over Oakland tonight, well, then Denver is out of the playoffs. Chris Barr will kick off and get this underway, the final game of the regular 1981 NFL season. So much on the line for these Chargers. Much on the line for the Oakland Raiders, too. They have not had a losing season since 1964. They believe in their slogan of pride and poise. There is Don Coryell looking for his 5th divisional title in 9 years as a head coach. He had 5 years previously with St. Louis. He is now in his 4th year at San Diego. We are set to go. James Brooks, the rookie from Auburn, is deep for San Diego. We are underway. High kick by Barr. Brooks from his 10-yard line. And Brooks out to the 25-yard line. And already a scuffle has broken out. These two teams, quite frankly, do not like each other. Earlier in the year, it was San Diego 55-21 over Oakland. In the game played earlier in Oakland, Dan Fouts threw 6 touchdown passes, 5 of them to the big tight end, Kellen Winslow. But there has been a lot of conversation between these two teams. The owners, Al Davis and Gene Klein, tremendously at odds. We'll develop that during the course of the game. We are set to go. First play offensively from the line of scrimmage for the Chargers. Chuck Muncie gets the draw call. Muncie gets outside and turns upfield. Gets close to a first down, and Chuck Muncie, also a question mark somewhat tonight. He missed most of the Tampa Bay game a week ago with a pulled groin as we look at the defensive unit of the Oakland Raiders.
And as you look at the Oakland linebackers, Al Locasal, as we follow through the Oakland defensive lineup, Al Locasal came up and told us a late development beset by the flu, a number of Raiders. One of them, the brilliant linebacker, Rod Martin. We'll see what impact that has.
Chargers with the single setback, and Muncie works again, gets the first down, out of the 35 to the 38-yard line, and Don, we are going to see a lot of Muncie tonight. I know, either passing or running.
Yeah, you mentioned he'd been hurt, Frank, and he has been a big part. We've seen him when he first came here from the New Orleans Saints. We wondered to ourselves how in the world they let a guy like Muncie go, but he's just that big back that they've been looking for. You were talking about Fouts and the kind of year he's had. It is really amazing to look at those statistics. He has 3 wide receivers who have gained over 1,000 yards. That's almost unheard of on the same team. He had the same guys last year that did that too, except for Wes Chandler.
On the 1st and 10, Muncie
No
right
place to
side, and this time Muncie cannot struggle. Even back to the line of scrimmage, you'll lose a yard. Muncie over 1,000 yards rushing thus far in the season. There is Tom Flores, wondering perhaps in this his third year where the wheels came off.
I guess he has been. At the same time, he knows that his team kind of languished throughout training camp. They had won the Super Bowl. Plunkett came in overweight. A lot of things went wrong. Now, too late, they can see everything that happened.
Second down, 12. The Chargers from their own 36-yard line. Bout lost it up. Incomplete. Going out to Charlie Joyner. He was covered there by Lester Hayes. An interesting statistic, I think, defensively. Lester Hayes had 13 interceptions 1 year ago for the season. The Raiders' entire interception output for the year is 13.
No stickum.
Now they got smart. They quit throwing over in his direction.
Third down and 12. The three wide receivers are in for San Diego. That, of course, means Dwight Scales, number 87. Bounce, fires, and Scales does not hold on. It would have been at the 45-yard line of Oakland. That will bring up fourth down, the punting unit for San Diego.
But in on that play, Mike Davis, who's well again, and boy, did they miss him this year. You remember, Mike, the key play against Cleveland a year ago?
That ball was right there. That was an amazing throw. He came back to an alternate receiver, trying to go to his left, covered, came back to the right. Pretty good coverage over here, too.
Here is George Roberts, and deep is Ted Watts, the rookie, number 1 draft pick for the Oakland Raiders out of Texas Tech. We saw him on a great night against Pittsburgh a couple of weeks ago. Roberts, left-footed kicker, hangs it high, and off the side of his foot, and it's going to be good field position for Oakland as Roberts puts the ball out of bounds at the Oakland Raiders' 44-yard line, and it looks as though Jim Plunkett will be coming in. Yes, he will. He will be the starting quarterback, suffering as he is. He did not take part in the warm-up drill before the game, but he is going to be the starting quarterback when we come back to San Diego. Those are the career numbers for last year's Cinderella player of the National Football League. Jim Plunkett has not started since 8 weeks ago when he was replaced following 3 games that were lost with no score by the Oakland Raiders. Mark Wilson took over. He is relieved twice. Once last week against Chicago, and earlier in the season when the Chargers beat the Raiders 55-21. First and 10 following that 20-yard punt by Roberts. And here comes Art Whittington. Big opening left side, and Whittington roars into San Diego territory at the 48-yard line. First down.
Quickly, you should know you won't see Kenny King tonight. Van Egan has been reactivated. He will contribute little. He hasn't played for many weeks. He's been injured. And finally, Cliff Branch is not starting. He's subpar. And so the Oakland Raiders are not the usual Oakland Raiders. But this year, the usual Oakland Raiders have not been that good, as Al Davis will freely tell you. Frank.
First and 10, Oakland. Just short of the 43-yard line of the Chargers. Here comes Jensen. And Derek Jensen is met at the 40-yard line, hit hard by Wilbur Young, who is starting defensively for Leroy Jones at left end for San Diego. Offensively, let's take a look at them for the Oakland Raiders. Howard mentioned Mark Van Egan is available, the all-time leading rusher for Oakland, but he has not played since the 3rd game of the season. He has had a very severely pulled hamstring. And right now, Jim Plunkett is looking over a second down and 7. The ball resting just short of the 40-yard line. Plunkett goes out to Jensen, and Jensen made an effort, but he was hammered by big Lyndon King out of the left side. It'll be 3rd down and 7.
Smashing tackle there by Lyndon King.
3rd down, 7. Chargers on a deal. Going deep. Intended for Malcolm Barnwell, who has started tonight in place of Cliff Branch. Incomplete. It'll be 4th down, out of field goal range, and we will see Ray Guy, the punter.
You'll see Glenn Edwards, number 27, come into the screen. He's kind of laying back there, right there. He looked wide open from up here, but Glenn Edwards is the guy thought he was going to get an interception. Had the ball been underthrown a little bit, he might have been able to come in and intercept it. Good defensive play.
Edwards, a great story in his own right. Cut earlier in the year, brought back a few weeks ago, and he's been a starter ever since. There's James Brooks having a tremendous year, this rookie #1 draft pick. Ray Guy has been kicking with a very bad back over the past few weeks. Looking for the left sideline.
I think he got it. No, he just barely missed that thing.
Very close. And it will be a touchback. And San Diego will have the ball at their 20-yard line.
Let me quickly say, Frank told you Ray Guy's been troubled with a bad back, but he is now 100%. And in the face of the other injuries, Ray Guy should be a big plus for Oakland tonight. We'll be right back.
This shot was taken during the pregame warm-up. That is Ray Guy, the punter, a fine athlete, but he has not played quarterback much, I can guarantee you. Mark Wilson has that sprained thumb on the right hand, his throwing arm. Jim Plunkett, at this point in time, before the game, was inside, troubled with a flu condition, but he has come out to start.
That was a completion, though, too. See, that's the thing. The guy caught it. He caught Hawkins open there. Nice move, guy.
Pair of tight ends in for San Diego. First down and 10, 20-yard line. Chuck Muncie, single setback, up the middle goes Muncie. He is hammered there by Rod Martin. Gets perhaps 2 yards. It'll be second down and 8.
Jim was taking oxygen just a moment ago on the sidelines. Remember? We were advised just before game time that Jim was hit with the flu. But he's starting, and off the year he had a year ago. You don't have to be told about his guts.
Second down and 8. Chandler, wide right. Charlie Joyner, top of your screen. Both of them over 1,000 yards on the year. Here comes Chuck Muncie, right side. Chuck Muncie hit first by Otis McKinney. Out to the 28-yard line, short of the first down by a couple. It'll be third down and 2. And there has been quite a rhubarb out here regarding the quarterback of the San Diego Chargers, Dan Fouts, over this past week.
Well, there was an interesting news flap that extends far beyond Dan Fouts because it relates to the whole management labor strife in the National Football League. But he is not a union member, according to Mr. Fouts. He had not paid his dues. That was paid by a couple of fans. He is out there playing tonight, which is the essential, precise football matter at the moment.
Third down and 2. Muncie, penetration, and then Mike Davis was up there from his strong safety position. It was Ted Hendricks first, however, forcing the fourth down and another punting situation for San Diego.
Now, right there, Don, you saw two of the strengths that won the Super Bowl a year ago. The ability of Hendricks to apply pressure, and then Mike Davis, so beautifully built as a defensive back with the ability to come up and make the kill.
Hendricks is the guy that I think really, he's a quality player there. He puts them all together, and he's been very disappointed with some of his teammates this year, and I think he really has missed Mike Davis, who we mentioned earlier has been out with injury.
On fourth down, Roberts, the left-footed kicker, had a net of 20 yards on his last punt. This is Ted Watts, has the time from the 35-yard line of Oakland. Flag is down. Watts still on his feet, back out to the 36-yard line. 37-yard effort this time by George Roberts. But again, a flag is down.
And it'll be against Oakland.
Could well have been a clip as Ted Watts was trying to work his way behind the picket line to the left. Our referee tonight will be Jerry Seaman, and there is an injured San Diego Charger down on the turf.
Bob Rush was the injured Charger player. Bob Rush is coming off, but Hendricks this is his 189th consecutive game. That's a little bit something about his durability too. Not only is he a good leader, team player, Bob Rush we see is up and moving around there.
And following the penalty, the Raiders will have the ball at their 26-yard line, first and 10. And they have won 14 straight on Monday Night Football. More than that, they are 10-3 against San Diego right here in this stadium. Oakland plays well away from home. 26-yard line, first and 10, no score. Art Shell and a left tackle now for the Oakland Raiders, the big man on the left side, number 78. Plunkett on first down is back. Just does get it away to an open Art Whittington. Whittington stepping out of bounds, but Big John Woodkick Woodcock was really all over Plunkett coming in from his defensive right end position.
Shell has been hurt a little bit this year, and he's not played regularly, and he just left him standing. Shell made a move, and Woodcock went right around him in a hurry. No contest. He just barely got that ball off.
Well, Al Davis made an interesting point today. He said that Shell and Upshaw have been deeply hurt, as you look at Art Whittington's figures there, by the new offensive blocking rule. They just can't learn to use their hands after all this year.
Art Whittington on the first down, left side, out close to the 39-yard line for a gain of about 3. Glenn Edwards up there defensively for San Diego. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
Frank, as an All-Pro and Hall of Famer, do you buy what Al says, that this is a very difficult thing for a great veteran to do, to change his whole blocking style under the new rules?
Well, it's been very difficult, and really for Art Shell, with the bad knee that he hurt during the middle of the season, working against John Woodcock is very quick. It could be a long night, but you're right. On 2nd and 7. Plunkett, wide open is Barnwell. And Barnwell inside the 35-yard line. Bobbled the ball, and San Diego has it. Pete Shaw hit Barnwell a shot, and coming up with the football is Glenn Edwards.
They're lucky there.
Barnwell had ran away from Mike Williams. Mike Williams will fall down, as you'll see.
Mike Williams, he tripped. Barnwell has it. He has the best average gain per reception. And this is that rule. I guess he fumbled before the ground. I don't know. How can I say? It's a fumble.
And San Diego will have the football back. They'll be at their own 32-yard line. The veteran Glenn Edwards coming up with a turnover. We'll be back in a moment. 8:28 remaining in the first quarter. We have no score. And for Dan Fouts tonight, much is on the line besides the divisional title. Another 300-yard game, and he will tie the all-time NFL record of 26. That, of course, held by John Unitas, but he is 0-2 thus far in the night. Fouts. Chandler. And Chandler inside the 40-yard line of Oakland. He was wide open, this speedster from Florida. His 68th reception on the year. He, too, combined with his numbers from New Orleans, is over 1,000 yards.
Frank, he was open, but it also took a pretty good throw to drop it right over. You see Lester Hayes, number 37, right behind him. He's open. He had a step on him. That ball was, he didn't break stride, is what I'm saying. He got that ball. It was hurt a little bit on the plate. Looked like he twisted a knee or an ankle. He's coming out of the ball game right now. Wes Chandler, he says he is so happy to be in San Diego.
Why not? Got a shot.
So Dwight Scales has come in, at least temporarily, for Wes Chandler. First down and 10. The ball just outside the 39-yard line of the Oakland Raiders. It's Brooks and Capoletti now as setbacks. The screen, Capoletti. And it sets up beautifully, and Capoletti is close to another San Diego Charger first down.
Dave Browning came very close that time to getting one of those roughing the passer penalties. It was a screen. Dan Fouts went back, released the ball. Browning was already there. The referee was right on it, didn't call a play. But a screen pass is a weapon. Of course, if you're a big passing team, you've got to really set that one up. The screen passes usually work better on those good, strong running teams.
They have marked it right at the 29-yard line. Scales stays in. Chandler stays on the sideline. That's Scales, the top of your screen. The motion man is Charlie Joyner. James Brooks, and the rookie from Auburn. James Brooks.
Oh, wow. What a run.
Beautiful run of 29 yards, breaking tackles, and this youngster has really provided fireworks here for the San Diego Chargers all year long. He returns punts. He returns kickoffs. Good receiver. He is over 2,000 yards in all-purpose yardage.
What you just saw was the immediate striking power as we take a ground-level look at Brooks with this remarkable run of the San Diego Chargers. Clearly on the record in terms of points scored, in terms of passing offense. This is the finest offensive team in football. Their problems have been in defense.
He had a good clearing block, opening block by Ed White, who came out there. He did a lot of it on his own after he passed the line of scrimmage. As that extra point is good, and they lead 7-0.
Ralph Benerska puts it to the uprights, and there's the young man, broke tackles at the line of scrimmage. As Don pointed out, it was big Ed White who pulled around the right side like a truck. And well, Curly, I know you like it if you can hear us. Denver quarterback Greg Morton, they need a victory tonight or it is all over for them. There is a man that is helping Denver's cause. And the youngster from Auburn, Jimmy Brooks, has really electrified this crowd. 29 yards, breaking tackles to put San Diego on top. What a versatile player he is. Benerska bangs away. And bringing it out is Clee Montgomery. And Montgomery is nailed out over the 20-yard line. And we'll look down. I think we are seeing a new Oakland quarterback.
Mark Wilson.
Mark Wilson will be coming in. Jim Plunkett, we told you, was suddenly stricken with the flu. He did not take part in the pregame drills. Tried to go, and now apparently he cannot. So Mark Wilson, who had to leave the Chicago Bear game, a 23-6 loss a week ago, with a sprained thumb on his right hand, is the quarterback, the second-year man from Brigham Young.
Mark Wilson, you will find, is all right for throwing. His problem with the thumb now, because he's been recuperating, is taking the snap. Watch that.
That right hand receives the shock from the center when he pops the ball up on 1st and 10. Wilson going for Barnwell. Edwards had it right in his hands, dropped it.
Well, he didn't look all right.
Yeah, it was not
throwing
too
on that.
You're right. He got the snap okay. The throw wasn't too good.
And you can see that Mark Wilson looked at his thumb immediately after he threw the ball. He is flexing the finger now. He is rubbing it, as a matter of fact, right now. And it cannot be good for Mark Wilson. It hurts.
We may see Ray Guy before it's over.
We might. Yet it was the Barnwell fumble that turned this game. Plunkett's leaving the field, as you can see.
It's not been a good year for the Super Bowl MVP.
Nope. 2nd down and 10.
Ain't it funny how time slips away?
Frank Hawkins, the rookie out of the University of Nevada at Reno. And Hawkins works his way out close to the 28-yard line before he's hit by Lyndon King. It'll be 3rd down and about 4. Hawkins, a 10th-round draft pick. Great numbers at the University of Nevada, Reno. But the scouts seem to think he was too short. He is 5'9", not fast enough, and indeed he is quite slow. But we saw him a couple of weeks ago with some fairly fine moves against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Got a lot of walk to.
3rd down and 4. 28-yard line. The Oakland Raiders being directed now by second-year quarterback Mark Wilson. Pressure on Wilson. And he goes out to Bob Chandler, and Bob Chandler will have the 1st down. Chandler out to the 37-yard line.
Well, at this stage of the season, you don't have to be told all over again about these people, either as individuals or as to their talents, as you look at the play in isolation. Chandler's a remarkable story. He's a very great athlete. The ruptured spleen, the removal of the spleen, and the way he came back after that, all in 1 year. But they missed Cliff Branch.
37-yard line, 1st and 10. Off the right side goes Derek Jensen, and Jensen is hammered over there after a gain of about a yard. And the San Diego Chargers defense, which, by the way, has given up more yardage and more points than any other team in the NFL after 15 games, the only exception being Baltimore, is really playing some fired-up football tonight.
And that has not helped Jack Pardee's reputation, who came in as a defensive mastermind. They're going to turn this defense around. It hasn't been a good year for Pardee.
But he turned it around.
He did, man. He went from about the middle to the bottom.
Right in the old tank. On 2nd down and 8.
Takes a little time, I guess.
Quick feet by Frank Hawkins. The opening up the middle was closed off. Hawkins went to the outside, taken by Willie Buchanan, stopped out at the 43-yard line, and it'll be 3rd down and a long 3.
It has not been a real comfortable year for Jack Pardee, who we all have known.
That dude hit.
Well, I didn't that to him. Jack's a heck of a coach. He came out here in a situation. If you're going to coach defense, try to coach one that Coryell's coaching offense.
He had a big year coaching the Bears, but he had Sid Gilman there then.
Now, you could say, as we look at the 3rd down and 3, that the offense of the Chargers scores so often the other team gets the ball.
That's a nice way of putting it. Frank, you always find nice things to say. That's so nice.
Flag is down, and we could have the pass interference call. Bob Chandler working out on the right side. He was working against Pete Shaw.
There is a penalty flag on the field.
Holding. It'll work against San Diego.
Not a bad break for Oakland.
You look at an Oakland team, they are the Super Bowl champs, the defending Super Bowl champs. They've had a lot of things happen this year. Number one, they've had some injuries. We've alluded to that. Let's hear what the call. Maybe it works this time.
Holding.
Yes, it does.
Number 57 defense.
Okay.
First down.
Lyndon King.
He didn't mean to. It's an accident. 31 different players have started this year for Oakland, is what I was going to mention, either from injuries or just being beat out or whatever. So they're having a transition period. It's not paying off for them.
Mark Wilson passing a little over 48% on the year. Looks it over on 1st and 10.
Nobody's
a lot
open.
of time, and finally crawling forward and taking Mark Wilson is Woody Lowe.
Nobody was open that time. They really had him covered downfield.
He was right not to throw it. I'll say that.
At Woody Lowe, look at those. 127 tackles, second on the team.
The loss is all the way back to inside Oakland's 40-yard line.
Interesting to see a linebacker come through, because among the San Diego defensive weaknesses is the absence of outstanding linebackers.
Well, Lyndon King is leading that league, though. Leading the team in Woodrow Lowe.
Second down, 19. Wilson chased out of the pocket. Scrambling upfield is Mark Wilson, and he is hammered at the 45-yard line. Short of the first down, but a nice pickup of about 17 yards for Mark Wilson.
A big gain, Frank.
It'll be 3rd down and 2 as we look once again.
He must have studied Scott Bruner on that bootleg play against Dallas.
Rolled out to the outside. See a good block by Whittington, as a matter of fact, there on Lyndon King. Picked up the yardage down in the middle, not quite enough for first down. 3rd and long 2.
And Mark Van Egan comes in. He's been on the injured reserve. He wears number 30, the all-time leading rusher for Oakland. He's effective, or a healthy Mark Egan would be effective in this situation, but the ball goes to Whittington. And Whittington falls forward. It appears that he will have the first down. Lyndon King again defensively for San Diego. 2:44, and the clock is moving here in the first quarter. The Chargers on top, 7-0.
I must say, Don, Oakland has shown the ability to move the football, a turning point up to now, having been the Barnwell fumble.
And a fumble there. That's got it, I'll guarantee you. And that was, I don't understand, you know, the fumble really is, if it hits the ground and causes the fumble, that's not a fumble. So evidently he fumbled up there and somewhere between the time he caught it and time he hit the ground.
Oh, that's clever.
Yeah.
41-yard line, 1st and 10. Art Whittington.
Oh, Arthur.
Whittington nailed behind the line of scrimmage. Gary Johnson was there. Big Gary Johnson.
A couple of SMU boys got together there, too.
Let me tell you.
Louis Kelcher was the one that hit him kind of late, and Arthur didn't like it. 2 SMU boys. They don't do that sort of stuff.
Gary Johnson's effectiveness has been impaired by the loss of Fred Dean, which was the key loss. Chandler is a great athlete. Nobody derogates John Jefferson. He's a super player. But San Diego, with Chandler, who is a great athlete, didn't feel Jefferson's loss the way they felt Dean's. 2 positions affected in the pass rush. Both Dean and Johnson, they worked hand in hand.
Loss of 3, 2nd down, 13.
Well, that was
Wilson
Woodcock.
will go down
Right there.
John Woodcock, and
Dean's
Art
replacement.
Shell is having a very difficult time with John Woodcock. And when Dean went to San Francisco, they picked up this man. He did not report to Detroit this past season. The Chargers got him for a 12th-round draft pick, and he is probably worth that pick right here.
Frank, what he is doing is Shell really can't move over that left side. So Woodcock has his speed. He's giving any kind of fake to the inside or that hand shove to the inside. And with his quickness, he's coming around very quick, and he is going to cause some problems all night. Shell's not doing a very good job on it.
3rd down and 21. 2 sacks now for John Woodcock. That gives him 10 for the season. Ball is at Oakland, 48-yard line. Wilson has Chandler open. Chandler with a great pattern, drove inside hard, looked over his left shoulder, broke to the outside, and he takes it down to the 17-yard line.
He has a way of getting open, doesn't he?
He sure does. And you talk about a big play. This was it. And this is why the Raiders regard Mark Wilson as their quarterback of the future. He moved outside, gave himself time. He's got the mobility.
Well,
Beautiful play.
Alan Ellis was a defender who there got caught up in the middle. Derek Ramsey, the tight end for Oakland, is their leading receiver this year. He was in combination situation on that pattern. Carried some people with him and left Chandler open to the outside.
At the 17-yard line of the San Diego Chargers, first down and 10. Barnwell in motion. Incomplete. Almost picked off. It should have been picked off by Bob Orr, the middle linebacker.
It was Don, your comment about Ramsey. I think in another year or two, Ramsey will be like Kellen Winslow. They're built similarly. He's got a chance to be a truly great tight end.
I know the Raider organization feels that way, or they wouldn't have made some of the trades they've made.
Second down, 10. Van Egan. Line of scrimmage. That's it.
Louis.
Quickly out there, Louis Kelcher.
Louis is kind of the guy in the middle that, you know, they count on Louis all year. He's one of your perennial kind of all-pro kind of guys. He and Gary Johnson going to the Pro Bowl. But they hold down that middle. You look at some of the personnel they have, and you wonder why they don't stop everybody rather than being on the other end of the thing. Why can't they organize all that stuff? He's a good football player.
Over that left side with Kelcher is Wilbur Young. Wilbur Young was picked up on waivers from the Washington Redskins a few weeks ago. But he had a great year in 1979 for San Diego. He's the starter tonight because of Leroy Jones' bad back on that left side for San Diego. That's the end of the first quarter, an action-packed first quarter with the divisional title, the AFC West, on the line. We'll be back in a moment. The Oakland Raiders have been moving the football well under the direction of young Mark Wilson. They had a third down and long, and Mark Wilson on this drive scrambled out, picked up 16 yards. Later on a third down and 21, he found Bob Chandler for a big pickup. But right now, the youngster is faced with a third down and 9. The ball at the San Diego's Chargers 16-yard line. And Oakland trails 7-0 as we begin the second quarter. Van Egan is the single setback for Oakland. Chandler in motion. There's pressure again. And Mark Wilson dumps the ball off. There is no flag down. Wilbur Young was pressuring from the inside, but John Woodcock is continuing to give Art Shell fits over on the left side of the Oakland Raiders. And we will see the field goal unit. That, of course, would mean Chris Barr, 13 of 23 on the year, certainly well within range.
Al Davis, who is one of the smartest men without question in the football sense, no matter the controversy about him in other areas, has had Shell carefully scouted. And there are those who believe Shell can still do it. Frank, take over.
34-yard attempt. Chandler gets it down, line drive, and it goes through the uprights.
He was lucky that time. That's one of those knuckleballs.
That ball just clearing the crossbars, and Oakland is on the scoreboard.
A little better, Curly.
But they had to settle for the 3. They trail 7-3 as we are just underway here in the second quarter. Stay with us, Craig. Looking down from the Goodyear blimp, Columbia, piloted by Captain Tom Matties, our cameraman Archie Griffin, and as you can see, Oakland dominating with 113 yards as opposed to San Diego's 85. But San Diego leads on the scoreboard thanks to a 29-yard effort by the youngster Jimmy Brooks.
And once again, time of possession misleading. It's what you do with the football when you have it.
Brooks is back for the Chargers.
Words of wisdom. I think I'll buy that.
And here comes Bob Greger. And Greger out over the 15 to the 17-yard line. It'll be first down and 10. The San Diego Chargers hit there by Todd Christensen.
A news note, we were advised today that ABC's Wide World of Sports has named Sugar Ray Leonard the Athlete of the Year for 1981. Congratulations to that remarkable athlete, so often called the creature of television, who disproved everything written about him.
First down and 10. Wes Chandler stays on the sidelines.
You're going to have people stop reading newspapers if you don't watch them.
Chuck Muncie Muncie out of bounds after he crosses the 20, close to the 22-yard line.
I'll tell you, that
Pick up a 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6.
He apologized.
2nd down and 6. Muncie once again. Over the 25 to the 27, short of the 1st down.
One of the most conservative game plans I've seen San Diego execute. I just get the feeling that they've started off kind of running in that first half. They haven't thrown that very much, and he's already run 8 times, and that's not a typical San Diego night. They put that ball in the air.
Twice now they have put their big tight end Kellen Winslow in the backfield in the fullback position, I presume, to enhance their blocking.
I would think, Frank, that there's a couple of things. They're looking at a 3-4 defense most of the time. I don't think that they would know that everybody had the flu or whatever it was. They picked up a 1st down, as you see it there. But maybe they're just trying to control the ball and not give Oakland the chance for those unnecessary turnovers. Control it, I mean, by the run. They haven't thrown very much.
That really is not their game, however. Their game is to put it up.
Yeah.
If you go away from what's got you here, you're going to be in a little bit of trouble.
He's thrown 4 times in the first quarter. You multiply that, watch this. 4 to 16 times. See how quickly I did that?
Joyner and Scales remain the 2 wide receivers. Chandler on the bench. Muncie right into the arms of Rod Martin, who's having a great year with the Oakland Raiders.
Rod Martin took the ball away from him, and Fouts is sitting there and saying, look, let's see, you want to lead or not? I'll tell you one thing, I don't want to tackle him.
Whistle had blown long ago. There was a gain of about 2 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Rod Martin has been incredible this year. 10 sacks all over the field, and he's one of those stricken with the flu, but apparently not dizzy and nauseous as in the case of Plunkett.
2nd down and 8. The ball at the 29-yard line of the Chargers. Over the middle, and it's complete. Severs, the rookie, tight end from Maryland, and Severs inside the 40-yard line of the Oakland Raiders.
Severs, a remarkable story. There were 9 others selected, 9 other tight ends selected in the draft before Severs. He became all rookie.
All right. They're going into the zone. You see him go. The cornerback and the safeties to the outside. Severs was wide open down the middle. Found they picked their spots. When Oakland tries to play man for man, they have to do something with those outstanding receivers. But if they go to the zone, you're going to leave that tight end open down the middle most every time.
Pick up of 32 yards. That's Winslow, the big tight end, leading the way for Brooks. Brooks tripped up by John Matuzak. Brooks, 3-4 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
Pardee on the side with Lyndon King, linebacker. They're going to do a little more restructuring, drawing. Got his blackboard there, green board, I should say.
But the point you made earlier, Don, obtains. They've got to throw the football.
Well, they throw it so well, Howard. I don't think any team that I've seen in the last 15, 20 years throws the ball better than San Diego. Coryell was doing that in St. Louis with Jimmy Hart.
2nd down and 7. Winslow split far to the left as a wide receiver. Fouts looks to Winslow, then checks off, goes right, incomplete, intended for Scales.
You throw a ball like that, you got to have pretty much confidence in yourself and the guy to whom you're throwing it to. That time was Dwight Scales, but he was pretty well covered. Fouts, it comes to that time when you got to let it go. You'll see as the ISO, he's never really wide open. Lester Hayes, 37, is right there. Didn't go for that fake. So who is open more? Hayes was the one that was most open, and yet Fouts still threw the ball right in.
Wes Chandler has come back in. 3rd down and 7. 3 wide receivers. Chandler, Scales, and Joyner. Fouts quickly. This is Tony Joyner. And Joyner inside the 15-yard line, close to the 13. 1st and 10, San Diego.
Terrific pattern that time, Frank. You'll see a lineup over there with the 3 wide receivers that you mentioned. One little quick move by Joyner. May not be able to see Joyner from that particular angle, but from his slot position, all he did was just come right in behind Winslow. No one was there. Fouts hit him quick, like a little quick slant-in pattern. Charlie Joyner.
And that's the San Diego offense, and in the clutch, as great as Kellen Winslow is, Joyner with those precise patterns.
And he's limping as he comes out.
Oh, my goodness.
Dan Fouts has broken his own completion record for one season, an NFL record. That 65th reception by Joyner gave him the record as we watch Muncie. Right side, struggling for about 3 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
Drafted off the 1968 Grambling team. It was Grambling College then. It's Grambling State University now. Charlie Joyner, ultimately traded from Houston to Cincinnati. And then in the best trade San Diego ever made, they got Charlie Joyner. What a player.
We just watched his 490th career reception. 3rd down and 7. Cappelletti joins Muncie as a setback to San Diego. The Fouts will put it up.
Nobody open. He's going to throw that one
Into a crowd, and it could have been intercepted so easily by Monty Jackson. He was back there with Rod Martin.
Either one of them, Frank, but they almost knocked it out of the other one's hands. Jackson was there, had a good shot at it. Rod Martin was there also. Neither one of them were able to hold it down. The ball should have been intercepted.
The key mistake, you're right, the key mistakes are being made by Oakland. The Barnwell fumble, the failure there on the intercept.
Did a good job of covering receivers. He didn't have anybody open that time, and Denny decided to throw it up in the end zone anyway.
3rd down and 7. Severs, the rookie tight end, joins Winslow. Scales in motion. Muncie
Knocked his helmet.
Came off at the 5-yard line. He's short of the first down by a yard. It'll be 4th down. Mike Davis and Burgess Owens up there to put the big hit on Chuck Muncie.
That was an interesting call. Now, do you take the 3 or do you go for it?
Well, as I see the guys trotting on the field to kick the extra field goal, I'm going to say they're going to go for 3.
I would put the points on the board.
Imagine, oh yeah, this strictly. Imagine the impact to knock a guy's helmet. Oh, I mean, and the helmet continues to go forward, and the guy that was wearing it stays behind. Somebody ran into somebody. Woo!
Here is Benershka, 24-yard attempt. Chargers on top, 7-3. Looking to extend the lead. Benershka, successful. His 17th of the season. And San Diego now leads 10-3 in a game. But if they win tonight, we'll give them the AFC Western Division title and a date with Miami in the playoffs.
Yes, sir. This is old Joe here. Got to have some more points, right?
I'm sorry?
You got to have some more points out here.
We got to have at least a couple touchdowns.
That's right. No more fumbles for Oakland?
We're not worried about a thing. Oakland can do it.
All right. That's good. Well, hey, we'll talk to you later on, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Not if they keep making mistakes, Craig.
Ralph Benershka set to kick off. Lee Montgomery, along with Malcolm Barnwell, 2 speedsters back deep for Oakland. With Montgomery. Montgomery around the left side, and Montgomery out of the 25, work his way close to the 28-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Oakland Raiders. A reminder, Saturday, ABC's Wide World of Sports at 5 o'clock Eastern and Pacific 4 o'clock Central. The World Men's All-Around Gymnastics Championship from Moscow. Olympic and World Cup champions in the most important gymnastics event next to the Olympics. And Skate America International Figure Skating Championships with a stunning group of the world's best for a new international contest. All of that coming up Saturday on ABC's Wide World of Sports over most of these ABC stations. Oakland, 28-yard line, they trail 10-3. 1st down and 10. Van Egan, right side. Down goes Van Egan. Big Wilbur Jones all over Van Egan at the 30-yard line. A gain of a couple. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Wilbur Young.
Chuck Muncie lost that helmet a while ago on a pretty good shot, and he is being treated on the sidelines. Appears to be all right. Wes Chandler has also been working back into the lineup for San Diego. And right now for Mark Wilson, a 2nd down and 8.
He's got him open right there.
Complete.
Derek
Derek Ramsey, and Ramsey is in charge of territory close to the 48-yard line.
You know, I really feel that the tight end is in the best position, maybe, of any of the receivers. If he has some sort of agility and the movement of his feet, to pick that opening in the middle. He's basically going to be working against linebackers, a strong safety. That time he saw an opening there, just moved in there and settled into that position, waited for the ball wide open. Good tight ends, awfully important.
7:50 and the clock is moving, remaining in the first half. First down, 10, Oakland. Van Egan right side, and Van Egan gets a couple. It'll be second down and 8. Van Egan to the 46-yard line.
There's the guy, Charlie Joyner. Banged his knee, but he's up and around and apparently quite all right.
So much on the line for San Diego. A victory tonight. They go into the playoffs to meet the Miami Dolphins in a couple of weeks. A loss tonight. They can forget it. And the Denver Broncos will meet Miami in the playoffs. Second and 8. Safety blitz. Wilson gets it to Barnwell. And a fine defensive play by Mike Wilson, making his first start in several weeks. Great pressure on Mark Wilson. He was able to get the ball away, but it was a safety blitz, and he had to hang it up and watch Mike Williams come back and make the play.
Frank, actually, Barnwell had a couple of steps there. If that ball could have been thrown just a little bit further, or maybe a little bit quicker, I think he could have had that one for a touchdown. He had to come back a little bit, allow that good defensive play to come in, but he did have the defense by a step.
It's possible that Barnwell, next to Lamb Jones of the Jets, is the fastest wideout man in the league. He's got tremendous speed.
Third down and 8. Mark Wilson, under tremendous pressure from Gary Johnson, has to throw it away. It'll be fourth down. Listen to this crowd.
Kind of a typical situation of a guy who hasn't played an awful lot. He saw some pressure coming in there. Slight panic on Wilson's part. Didn't make a good move to get away and wound up throwing the ball up into a situation that could have been intercepted.
Gary Johnson making the big play for San Diego on a third and 8. Ray Guy on the punt for Oakland. James Brooks has dropped to his 10-yard line. Little breeze will be helping Ray Guy, but the wind that was blowing this afternoon has died considerably, and it is swirling here in Jack Murphy Stadium. High kick by Ray Guy. And it'll bound into the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. And San Diego will have possession at their own 20-yard line. Dan Fouts leads the offensive unit back out onto the field with 6:53 remaining in the first half. Back in San Diego, Frank Gifford along with Howard Cosell, Don Meredith, Craig Morton watching from Denver. The San Diego Chargers first down and 10 at their own 20-yard line. The Chargers looking for their third consecutive Western Division title of the AFC. Last year, they were defeated by the Oakland Raiders in the AFC Championship game. 79, it was Houston that knocked them out. And Fouts going for Wes Chandler. He tries to bring it down with one hand, incomplete.
Close,
second down and 10.
Pressure then on Fouts.
Let's pause 5 seconds and allow our stations to identify themselves.
This is 7 TV, KETV in Omaha.
Hope you're enjoying our telecast from San Diego. Critical game for the Chargers and, of course, the Denver Broncos. Second down and 10, San Diego at their own 20. Complete to Kellen Winslow, and the big tight end lumbers out to the 28-yard line. He'll be short at the first down. It'll be third down and 2 as Jeff Barnes was there defensively for the Raiders.
All the time in the world, yet I had the feeling that Winslow was an alternate receiver, that he wanted to go long.
Could have been. It was a delayed route on the inside. I think maybe more than an alternate receiver, Howard, the defense didn't react as they had anticipated. I think they thought that would clear out a little bit in the middle and Winslow could come under.
Winslow's first 3 steps of the night, yet he has nailed down another receiving title in the NFL. That's his 86th.
Oh, no.
Incomplete. Muncie maybe taking his eyes off that pass. He had the yardage for the first down, but now San Diego will have to punt.
That too, Frank, but he also, you remember, he has a broken thumb, wasn't he? He broke a thumb earlier in the year, and he's wearing a partial cast to his hand. I'm talking about Chuck Muncie. And it seemed to hit there and just bounce right out because it hit him right in the hands. He should have caught it.
There's Ted Watts, the first-round draft pick from Texas Tech. Averaging a little over 8 yards a return, but we saw him against the Pittsburgh Steelers a couple of weeks ago go 52 for a TD with one. George Roberts will give him a little different twist. The left-footed kicker, and it's blocked. Lester Hayes.
Lester.
Called all over Roberts, and is picked up by the Chargers, and I think it'll be a San Diego first down.
I think you're right.
Picked up the ball. And how about that? Lester Hayes got the block.
Jim Laslovic is the guy that picked that ball up. And talking about being alert and a big, big break.
What a break.
That's a novel way of picking up a first down, isn't it?
But a great move by Lester Hayes to block the punt of Roberts. Then you'll see Laslovic come up with it. Boy, he did just what you have to do. He didn't go to Roberts' position. He calculated where the 3 steps would take Roberts' foot. He was there, but unfortunately, at least
look at that bounce.
Oakland is concerned, it bounced right into the arms of Laslovic.
That's a San Diego bounce.
First and 10, 32-yard line for San Diego. Brooks, right side, works his way to the outside. Gets something out of nothing to the 35-yard line. A gain of 3. It'll be 2nd and 7.
Quite apart from that break, and that was a huge break for the Chargers. In 12 first down plays, the Chargers have rushed 9 times. Now, that's not their game.
That's not their game is right. They must know something we don't know, and I'm sure they do.
If they do,
you got to scoop.
Exactly.
I understand.
Close to 5 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-3 Chargers over the Oakland Raiders. There was movement, and flags are down.
Bounce is going to run, and he's going to be called back.
Hook sliding. Close to the first down, but flags are down. They look as though there would be movement by San Diego.
That's the way it looked to me. It'll be interesting to see this call.
Slip sliding away. Yes. Yes.
Gary Seaman indicating illegal motion, and it will back the Chargers up. Second down, we'll call it 12. The ball resting right at the 30-yard line of San Diego. Right scale. And another flag is down, and they are playing so far off scales. I'm sure that was just a quick automatic or maybe a prearranged signal between Fouts and Scales.
You're right, Frank. There was a defensive mix-up. No one was out there on Scales. Fouts was trying to get the ball out there as quickly as he could, and they were made. I think maybe Scales may have been in motion. Got
Another
so excited.
Motion call indicated against San Diego.
Very good, Don.
Thank you.
Right on.
Illegal motion, right side of the line, penalty declined.
Penalty declined, and that will bring up 3rd down and 12. The Oakland Raiders have not had a losing season since 1964, when they were 5-7-2. Bounce back into the pocket, and this is Kellen Winslow coming down with it for the first down out close to the 49-yard line. The big man at 6'6", went ever so high to make the catch.
Very few people I know could catch this ball. He was pretty well covered by Mike Davis. Had some time to throw. Look at this. He's only been sacked 18 times all year. That's a good credit. Look at that guy go up. My golly, Kellen Winslow, 6 foot 5.5, 242 pounds, and runs like a deer.
And he has nailed down another NFL receiving title. Here's Jimmy Brooks. Jimmy Brooks turned back right into Matuzak and then ran into Rod Martin. He'll lose about a yard.
He really ran into Russ Washington, who is his tackle. And Russ says, I thought I had got out of this play. Made my initial blocks, and he came back and ran over him again.
Well, it'll be 2nd down and 11. Dwight Clark made a great run at it. He was held to 1 reception yesterday. Ted Brown up in Minnesota held to 1 reception, and Winslow now is looking to shatter his own record that he set with 89 as a tight end a year ago, when he also led the league in receiving. 2nd and 11. Flags are down as Severs, the rookie tight end, gets inside the 45-yard line of the Raiders. But again, a flag is down.
I think this one's going to be against Oakland. We've had
Should be.
Illegal use of hand.
First down.
And against the Oakland Raiders. Tom Flores, of course, now in his 3rd year, took the Raiders to the Super Bowl in only his 2nd year, and a former Raider quarterback and longtime assistant. First down. It'll be at the 47-yard line of the Oakland Raiders.
Illegal contact. Number 42 on the defense. First down.
Monty Jackson. Overly aggressive for the Oakland Raiders.
Interesting. Oakland won the Super Bowl a year ago. Of the 10 teams that got into the playoffs a year ago, 6 did not get in this year. What a turnover.
Single setback. San Diego. Chuck Muncie. Left side. And Muncie stacked up. Mike Davis was up there getting help from Browning. Millen. Less than a yard pickup. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
There are the new teams: Cincinnati, Miami, Giants, Jets, Tampa, San Francisco. The repeaters: Buffalo, Dallas, Philadelphia.
You know, and Howard, what you mentioned, there were 5 teams at 11-5, including Oakland. Buffalo is the only one that came close this year. Cleveland, 5-11. LA, 6-10. Oakland, of course, coming in tonight, 7-8.
Oh, he had one wide open there for a while.
Incomplete. Muncie, the intended receiver. It'll be 3rd down and 8.
Oh, is he getting time? Notice again, on first down, they rushed. San Diego playing either not its game or adopting an attitude of patience not consistent with their offense.
Dan Fouts looks over to the sidelines, picks up his play, steps into the huddle. We'll have the 3 wide receivers: Wes Chandler, 89, Scales, 87, Charlie Joyner, 18, and Kellen Winslow. As active as he is, the big tight end, you could even be considered a wide receiver.
Good
Intended for
play.
Joyner, and a great defensive play by Monty Jackson. It'll be 4th down. Punting unit coming onto the field for San Diego.
Not a good series for San Diego, or sequence of series, because they want to come up with something before the end of the half.
A little sloppy. They made a couple of motion penalties. They just didn't seem to be, they're not moving as smoothly as we have seen them play in the past.
Ted Watts once again for Oakland. George Roberts, the left-footed punter for the Chargers. Looking for the left sideline, angling it away from Watts.
He caught it pretty well.
Beautiful. And now a flag goes down. Bauer of the Chargers was pointing an accusing finger at Ted Watts, and the flag did go down. And they have marked the ball as having gone out of bounds at the 15-yard line. So we could have a penalty. Against the Oakland Raiders.
Watts, I think, got a little overly aggressive. The ball is already out of bounds, and you'll see he just does a turnaround, man. I don't know who did he hit.
A little overly aggressive.
Phillips, Aaron Phillips. Wow.
So Oakland will be backed up, and they will begin at their 7-yard line. 2:18 remaining in the half.
Unnecessary roughness. Number 41 on the receiving team.
Ted Watts called for the unnecessary roughness for the Oakland Raiders. 2:18 remaining in the half. They have their complement of timeouts of 3, and we'll be returning to San Diego in a moment. We're back in San Diego. 2:18 remaining in the half. The San Diego Chargers trying to take the AFC Western Division title. The Denver Broncos hoping that the Oakland Raiders can win tonight. Therefore, they would be the AFC Western Division champions. Already decided, Miami, of course, Eastern Division AFC, Cincinnati, the Central Division of the AFC. The wild cards are the Jets of New York and Buffalo. Dallas is one in the NFC, as is Tampa Bay and San Francisco. The wild cards are the New York Giants and Philadelphia. First down and 10, Oakland from their own 7-yard line. Mark Wilson is back, has the time. Finds the receiver, and then he drops the ball. It is Derek Ramsey, the tight end.
Turned to run too quickly, didn't he? He knows it.
Playoffs will, of course, will begin Sunday, December the 27th. That's this Sunday. With the first round action, Buffalo is at the New York Jets. The Giants will be at Philadelphia. And, of course, the playoffs will continue, and that is what is going to be decided here tonight. January 2nd, it will be Tampa Bay at Dallas, and then San Diego or Denver will be at Miami. Second down and 10. Van Egan. 10-yard line, and that is about it. Lyndon King defensively there for the Chargers with help from his friends.
We bad.
And the seconds have ticked off to 2 minutes. So we have 2 minutes remaining in the first half. And we'll be returning to San Diego right after this message from the National Football League. The preceding announcement was brought to you as a public service by the Washington Redskins, Big Dave Butts, and of course the National Football League. We have 2 minutes remaining in the first half. The Oakland Raiders have the football deep in their own territory at the 11-yard line, 3rd down and 7. Oakland Raiders, who suffered so much throughout the season with injuries, have sustained even more injuries tonight. In terms of manpower, they are running very low. Their quest tonight to avoid a losing season. Either there was movement or the Chargers were offside. There's an accusing finger being pointed by Big John Woodcock of the Chargers, saying he was drawn off.
They may be right.
Encroachment, number 79 prior to the snap.
They are wrong. Gary Johnson leaving early for San Diego.
Very
yard penalty. Will have a 3rd down and 2.
Very big play, Frank, for Oakland, because
Encroachment,
San
number
Diego.
79 prior to the snap.
There's the call. If San Diego could put something on the board before this half is over, Oakland, with the injuries you've already mentioned and all their other problems, could be blown out. But this way, it remains a ball game.
Kenny King, of course, we mentioned their fine running back, leading rusher. But on the injured reserve today, Mark Van Egan is back, but he hasn't played in weeks. Movement again, and more flags.
And got another one.
Louis Kelcher this time coming across the line of scrimmage, and Mark Van Egan is stacked up. And that should be yardage for the first down.
You really don't expect to see that kind of play this late in the season, do you? I mean, those are the kind of mistakes you see in preseason games.
San Diego is not playing its game. They're playing a frightened game, it seems to me. What do you think, Frank?
I think there is a little tension. They'd like to win it the easy way if they could. They're taking few chances, but that is not their game. They believe in putting the ball up.
Offside, number 74 defense. First down.
The fact that Oakland is able to move the ball on them comes as no surprise, because just about everyone has. What is surprising that anyone can when you go down their lineup of personnel. And nevertheless, if you were to critique their defense, you would have to say their problems lie with their linebackers. On 1st and 10. Wilson had to try to force the ball to Derek Ramsey. Incomplete. Lyndon King and Laslovic were there.
Situation that time where Wilson really had his mind made up he was going to throw to Ramsey. Ramsey was covered, and he really couldn't take his eyes off of him to check the rest of the field. He had 3 other receivers running down the field.
Really is the problem for most young quarterbacks, don't you think, though, Don? They come
really
in
is.
and they get focused in on that primary receiver. The veterans will stand there. They will look absolutely the other direction, and this means so much to a receiver when he's working against a defensive back that the quarterback is helping him.
I think it's particularly important when the plays are called from the sideline.
2nd down and 10. You're watching from the end zone as Mark Wilson goes upfield, and coming down with the football is Willie Buchanan. And Willie Buchanan gets the interception He was in the grasp of the Oakland Raider wide receiver, Malcolm Barnwell. They'll bring it back to the 35-yard line. And for San Diego, an opportunity to put additional points on the scoreboard.
That's the point.
Same
Oakland
thing.
made the key mistake. San Diego gets a chance to build the kind of lead they want.
You can see that Barnwell was never really wide open.
Boy, that is a great
Good defensive play,
by
was it?
Willie Buchanan.
It really was.
Diving, one-handed it back into his stomach and comes down with the football. First down 10, San Diego, 35-yard line, 1:43 remaining in the half. They have their timeouts of 3. Muncie, Wilkinson leading the way, and Muncie cuts back inside the 30 to 29-yard line, upended by Otis McKinney, but he gets 6. It'll be 2nd and 4.
At the very least, all worst, as you wish to phrase it, they're in field goal range for Benerska. 12 out of 15 of their offensive plays have been first down rushes.
Seconds ticking off here in the first half, but San Diego still has plenty of time, and they have their timeouts. Bouts wants it all with Joyner. Charlie Joyner in the corner of the end zone. A great effort. Burgess Owens was there.
They can't believe it.
Charlie Joyner comes down with it. Timed it out perfect with his leap.
A great pass, a great catch. This could now be a blowout.
Charlie Joyner was really pretty well covered that time by Burgess Owens. Let's look at it again. You've got Monty Jackson, number 42. And there's not much room there. I mean, what are you going to do? Monty Jackson turned around. The ball was already thrown. Joyner had the advantage of looking back.
The Chargers, with 1:05 remaining in the first half, are moving out in front. This is Benerska. Putting the uprights. And Dan Fouts, as we look again, has broken his own NFL record for yardage in a single season, going over 4,714 yards.
Frank, when you look at that throw from the other side, you can kind of get a chance. Fouts didn't have anybody else open. He just threw the ball up in there toward Joyner, thinking, well, if he doesn't catch it, at least knock it down.
Charlie Joyner with a great catch, and also his 47th career touchdown of a long and great career.
That sign may have been prophecy. 18-2-1.
They had already put it up there, hadn't they?
Yep. Oakland came in 18-1-1. And if Charlie Joyner isn't one of the remarkable players of our time, I don't know who is. Look at the catch again.
Monty Jackson was on the coverage. He had help from the inside from Burgess Owens. It didn't matter, as Charlie Joyner is only 5'11", goes up with it like a 6'6", and comes down with it. 17-3, San Diego over Oakland. 1:05 remaining in the half. Benerska will kick off. Barnwell and Montgomery are deep. This will be Malcolm Barnwell. And Barnwell swarmed on at the 20-yard line. And the Chargers have got to be fired up at this point. Final word from Tom Flores to his young quarterback as he sends him back out onto the field. Final word probably being, don't hurt us anymore.
That graphic told a lot. 3 out of 11.
66-1. 66 yards and 1 interception.
First and 10, Oakland from the 20-yard line. Wilson. This is Todd Christensen, a backup tight end. Gets 5 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 5. A hurry-up offense for the Oakland Raiders. 40 seconds remaining in the half. The seconds ticking away. Bob Chandler. Chandler to the 40-yard line and a first down, and we will see an Oakland Raider timeout. Mike Williams defensively against Chandler. Chandler had given him a fine move. Stepped in for the first down at the 39-yard line. So we have timeout, and while we do, we'd like to just congratulate a lot of our people over this past week. ABC Sports won 4 out of the 6 major categories for Emmys in our business, and we're quite proud of it.
Diego scores, and that's what's turned this game. Oakland without Cliff Branch, now without Arthur Whittington.
Raiders have 2 timeouts, 32 seconds, 1st and 10, inside their own 40-yard line. Wilson gets out of trouble, sprinting for the sideline, stopping the clock with 24 seconds after a pickup of 9. Mark Wilson, of course, number 1 draft pick of a year ago, took over from Jim Plunkett in the 7th game of this season after the Raiders had gone 3 straight without putting a point on the scoreboard. Figures to be the quarterback of the future for the Oakland Raiders. Great career at Brigham Young, but he's still learning the ropes. 2nd down and 1. Moving again.
That's true.
The big man, Louis Kelcher.
No, but I really think it'll be called on Mickey Marvin, who was trying to set back up, and he couldn't hold himself down. There it is, and Louis saw that charge.
Mickey Marvin playing right in front of Louis Kelcher. You'll see it right here.
Look at
Marvin,
Mick.
65.
Marvin said, I know the snap's coming sometime. And Louis says, not now, sucker.
He tried to do it in slow motion.
False start, number 65 offense.
What a malicious laugh.
Well, I know, it was awful. It's sad, you know, those things happen. You get out there and you're trying to jump that count, you can't stop.
2nd down and 6.
Good time.
Wilson for Chandler.
Oh, yeah.
And the Raiders are to the 10-yard line. 13 seconds remaining in the half. Glenn Edwards was back there, but a perfect shot by Mark Wilson to Bob Chandler, who somehow, even though not blessed with great speed, works his way into the clear.
I could see, is it Glenn Edwards? Let's look at it from the reverse angle. That tries for the interception. The ball is...
That was Shaw that went for the interception.
All right, here it comes. You'll see. Right in there, that Chandler heading down the line, trying to make a move. Couldn't shake Glenn Edwards. Glenn Edwards is a good defensive back.
That'll be strategy time, too. Don Howard, 1 timeout remains for the Oakland Raiders. 13 seconds. They have a 1st down and 10. The ball just outside the 10-yard line of San Diego. If they could put it into the end zone,
You know, after 12 years.
The San Diego Chargers would start to sweat once again.
Took him 12 years to discover the wisdom, Don. Craig, Oakland is not quitting. They're showing guts.
They're really starting to play well. They've made so many mistakes thus far. Maybe with that block punt, and then they get that turnover that they should have gotten, you know, the interception. They're right back in the ball game. But right now, the way that Fouts is throwing and Joyner's catching, it's a little scary.
The situation here in the first half. San Diego leading 17-3. The Raiders have 1 timeout. They have a 1st down and 10 at the 10-yard line of San Diego. And they had the 1 timeout. Mark Wilson, all the time you could ask for. Incomplete, intended for Bob Chandler. He was well covered. Double coverage back there.
They were all well covered, Craig.
Mike Williams was there.
You know, he did a good job. Woodrow Lowe that time had man-to-man coverage on Derek Ramsey. We've talked about Ramsey coming from his tight end position, and he is often covered with linebackers. That time, Woodrow Lowe had him well covered.
7 seconds. They got time for another.
Yeah, you got one more throw at it.
And then the field goal.
It's got to be a specific kind of pattern. I would say a quick breaking pattern, not time for a couple of double moves. Got a slot to this side.
The crowd, sellout crowd, is one on their feet.
Trying to get it to Chandler, probably. Nope, roll out. No, he doesn't have time.
Wilson.
Oh, Wilson.
Looking for help.
Come on.
Out of the end zone, incomplete. And time has expired.
That was
With
a bad
scramble on the part of Mark Wilson. Time expires here in the first half.
Bad move, right, Curly?
So the Oakland Raiders miss a golden opportunity to shorten the lead. San Diego now leading 17-3.
we're back live. San Diego Jack Murphy Stadium. Let's take a look at the team yesterday that compiled the best record in the league this year, the 49ers. They did it against a tough New Orleans Saints team. And George Rogers, a star for New Orleans. 1,674 yards, the rushing leader of the NFL in his rookie year. And it's an NFL rookie record. A tremendous ball player, the first choice in the entire draft last May. And he came through the way Bum Phillips thought he would. And right here, Joe Montana, the San Francisco star quarterback, passing to Charlie Young, 13 yards, touchdown. The 49ers won it 21-17. The 49ers. And Bill Walsh, a remarkable coaching job, being congratulated by Bum Phillips. Now, speaking of coaches, Mike McCormick was dismissed as the head coach of the Baltimore Colts. 2 wins and 14 losses. A very difficult coaching career for Mike. His successor, Frank Kush, stormy, controversial, but a winner in football terms. From Arizona State, led the Hamilton Tiger Cats to an 11-4-1 record. He takes over as head coach of the Colts. Frank Gifford takes over for the second half. But first, a quick look at the stats. They are not that much different. The whole key, as we have told you repeatedly, Oakland mistakes. San Diego playing cautiously, not its real game, and Oakland making the mistakes that gave San Diego, especially near the end of the half, with an intercept and a subsequent touchdown pass to Joyner, taking command of the game. Here's Frank.
Deep for the Oakland Raiders. You also left out Lester Hayes blocked a punt. It took a San Diego bounce. Laslovic came up with the ball and got a first down when Oakland looked as though they were going to have the ball deep in Oakland's territory. It's not bouncing their way tonight. Benershka gets it for San Diego. Malcolm Barnwell is there. And Barnwell works his way out to the 29-yard line. Hank Bauer for San Diego, as he so often is there on the tackle. Captain of the special teams, Hank Bauer. For the Oakland Raiders, trailing 17-3. They can play it loose. They can turn it absolutely loose if they want to. Nothing really is at stake for them except, well, unless you consider the fact that they have not had a losing season since 1964, when they were 5-7-2. That's a lot of years. They have a lot of injuries coming into tonight's game. Cliff Branch was mysteriously benched, by the way, to start the game. And on first down and 10, Mark Wilson tries to go out to Derek Ramsey. Incomplete. Wilbur Young was out there.
You're right to bring up the San Diego break on the block punt. And then, of course, there was the terrible mistake by Mark Wilson with 7 seconds remaining. Scrambling and running out the clock when the very least they could have gotten was a field goal that would have been most helpful.
And, of course, a youthful mistake on the part of Mark Wilson. The only pass he should have tried to throw was a slant or throw it away and at least come away with 3. They did not. And they trail 17-3. Second down and 10. Wilson back once again. Barnwell comes down with it, and Barnwell out of the 45 to the 47. First down Oakland, and Barnwell, who came in tonight with 7 receptions, had not played that much. He caught 4, however, last week against the Bears. And this young man is showing a lot of promise.
I think you'll see a pretty good composure here by Mark Wilson. See, he's looking around, moving his head back around, got some pressure right there. That was Gary Johnson, number 79. Held his composure and threw a good strike in there to Malcolm.
First down and 10, Oakland. Inside their own 47-yard line. This is Derek Jensen piled up over the right side. He'll pick up a couple of yards. It'll be second down and 8.
Frank, you hear the fans. They're booing, and I think what they're booing.
I think they're going Lou for Louis Kelcher.
That's what I said.
The tackle.
Sure, that's no boo, it's a Lou. That's what I was getting ready to say.
A la Lou Piniella with the Yankees.
Exactly.
Kenny King, in case you weren't with us earlier, was put on injured reserve for Oakland. Their fine running back, their leading rusher, with a bruised sternum. Mark Van Egan was brought back from the injured reserve list today. But again, he has not played in many weeks. 2nd and 8. Wilson going deep for Barnwell. Well covered. 2 San Diego defenders were deep. Back there, Willie Buchanan and Glenn Edwards.
I really think they make a mistake in trying to throw those kinds of patterns to catch up. The way you catch up is you throw really good patterns, get your team confident that you can move the ball on a consistent basis. The odds of hitting a pass like that are between slim and none. He had 2 defensive backs back there. He threw the ball away.
Another Oakland problem, the fine runner, the fine receiver. Whittington out for the evening, pulled groin.
3rd down and 9. Oakland at their own 48-yard line. Wilson, Chandler, and he has the 1st down. Another fine effort by Chandler in front of Allen Ellis.
Good route there. Good run by Chandler. He made the move just right, came back. He's working on Ellis. This is the kind of pattern. Oakland has not established anything consistent drives. Here's Chandler coming off. Good quick cut, strong cut to the outside. The ball's well thrown. Just inside, or just outside the 1st down. Ellis didn't have a chance to come back and tackle him.
Bob Chandler, one of the many Raiders who missed so many weeks this year. Along with Van Eagle on the offense, Reggie Kinlaw, Bob Nelson, and Mike Davis on the defense. And on 1st down, this is Frank Hawkins. And the rookie from the University of Nevada, Reno, gets to the 37-yard line. Gain of 6. It'll be 2nd down and 4.
Hawkins is a good-looking kid, Frank, but Chandler's really remarkable. Probably most explainable by the fact that he went to USC.
Oh, I see.
Well, he set a lot of records there. And, of course, was spectacular over the years with Buffalo. Oakland got him for Phil Villapiano, a linebacker. 2nd and 4, we'll watch Hawkins again. Hawkins pulling up close to a 1st down. He could be a little short. To say his center of gravity, Frank Hawkins, is down around his ankles. Goes about 210 and is just under 5'9". Well, he laid up some tremendous numbers at the collegiate level. At one point, he went 21 consecutive games where he gained 100 yards or more. Louis Kelcher has come out of the San Diego Charger defense. He is being treated on the sidelines. We'll try and get a report on him. Jimmy Webb has replaced Louis Kelcher. As you can see, the distance the Raiders need for their 1st down.
You know they're going to go, if it takes 4 downs, they're going to go for it. In one of those situations not totally unlike what the Chicago Bears were yesterday when they were playing Denver. You saw a lot of strange defensive alignments by the Bears. You're seeing that kind of thing tonight.
3rd down and inches, and Don, I don't know, with a youngster like Mark Wilson, not a bad time for play action with the 3 tight ends in there. Squeeze one of them off the line of scrimmage and try and get 6. You're down 17-3. Hawkins and Jensen are the setbacks. Jensen easily the 1st down inside the 30-yard line, close to the 28-yard line.
Couldn't have a more critical series for Oakland. They simply must get on the scoreboard now to get back into this game.
But really, they're just 2 touchdowns back, so it's not, you know, that I really do agree. I think Wilson made a mistake before the half in his rollout attempt to try to score. They could have gotten 3 points right there.
San Diego forced to make some changes in their defense. Kelcher remains on the bench. Leroy Jones in at defensive end, number 68, 1st down and 10. Mark Wilson is back.
Got him open
for Chandler.
There got to be an interference on that.
And Chandler.
Got to be an interference on that. If that's not interference, I'll guarantee you.
The ball was well overthrown.
Oh, bull. That doesn't make any difference.
I agree with you, Don.
Now, you look at this. Now, he has got him beat. Now, the only shot that Willie Buchanan has got is to tackle him right now. Now, what is that? If that's not interference, I've never seen it all year. I'll guarantee you that's interference.
You're right.
Oh, my gosh.
What do you think, Frank?
Oh, doesn't make a difference.
Pass interference.
Okay.
What happens is...
I'm sure Craig Martin will agree with us in Denver.
It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Right, Curly? Was that pass interference? What he's saying is that was pass interference.
Van Egan, the single setback. Van Egan breaks back behind Mickey Marvin, gets inside the 25-yard line.
The ball carrier, number 30, Mark Van Egan.
Gain of about 4. It'll be 3rd down and 6.
Tackle by number 54, Jim Laslenick. And number 68, Leroy Jones.
Van Egan. Now, they missed him over the course of the year.
Frank, I know I'm not trying to put you on the spot. Let's look at this from the reverse angle. This is Chandler going up for the... That's even...
The official was right there.
Well, we've all been griping about them calling it too frequently this year. I guess maybe they're listening.
I guess so.
Third down, long 6. And Mark Wilson with a great play down the sideline. He's close to a first down.
Good move by Milt Wilson there that time. He had them all covered, rolled out, couldn't find anybody open, came awfully close to a first down.
I think he's got it. By George, I think he's got it.
Frank, what is the longest run that Van Egan has had? Do you happen to know that? I hope I'm not putting you on the spot.
You are, but it's under 30 yards, I believe.
And he's gained almost 6,000 yards, and I think his longest run is, let's even say 35 yards.
Wilbur Young is now limping off the field for San Diego. But we understand Louis Kelcher is all right. And Mark Wilson came up with a big first down for the Oakland Raiders. It looked like he was going to be sacked. He couldn't find a receiver. And here is Wilbur Young, obviously in pain and being assisted off the field.
Ball is marked on the Charger 18-yard
I've
line.
just been told by our statisticians that Van Egan's longest run in his career is 34 yards.
I was in the area.
That's a lot of those short gains to gain 6,000 yards. He's very close to it.
First down and 10. Oakland inside the 18-yard line of San Diego. Raiders trailing 17-3. Wilson deflected, but Bob Chandler comes down with it. He'll have another first down, and it'll be first down goal to go at the 4-yard line.
Well, this grows interesting.
Bob Chandler.
Not a
Much
bad
more
night.
interesting to the Denver Broncos than to us.
Let's look at it from the end zone.
I think it was Bob Horn, that middle linebacker, that got a hand on it. There's the deflection. Chandler with his 6th reception. First down, goal to go, 4-yard line. Chandler goes right. Barnwell out to the left. Van Egan down around the 2-yard line. It'll be second down, goal to go.
Watching Mark through the years, one is reminded of the fact that the Oakland Raiders have used Colgate as a kind of breeding ground. Remember Marv Hubbard?
I remember Marv Hubbard.
Colgate, Mark Van Egan, Colgate.
Van Egan that broke all of Hubbard's records there.
Exactly. The Red Raiders of the Shenango Valley. You remember the 32 team at Colgate, unbeaten, untied, uninvited.
I remember them.
They have marked it at the 3. A second down, goal to go. Van Egan once again. This time close to the 1-yard line.
The handoff to Mark Van Egan. He picks up 2 yards.
And not taking anything away from Derek Jensen, who replaced Van Egan after the 3rd game. And Van Egan suffered the hamstring pull. He is not a Van Egan when you need short yardage.
You saw Van Egan try to leave that time when Derek Jensen was coming in. This time they brought both of them in the backfield.
Third down, goal to go. This drive has used up 7 minutes of the 3rd quarter. Van Egan. Touchdown, Oakland.
All right.
Broncos quarterback Greg Morton obviously happy about the change of situation here in San Diego. The Raiders using over 7 minutes on that drive. They did not get all the breaks. They could have very well have had a pass interference call that would have put it at the 1-yard line. It did not. But they are back in the ball game. They used 6 minutes and 52 seconds. Chris Barr for the conversion. Barr through the uprights.
Extra point try is good.
And the Raiders have gone to within a touchdown and a conversion. And we'll be back with more action here in San Diego after this. but for a couple of turnovers in the first half and a block punt that went awry. San Diego recovering for a first down. This story could be entirely different. And San Diego, having played the ball very conservatively offensively in the first half, will have their first possession here in the second half, and we'll look forward to see what changes they might make. Barr hits it. It'll be out of bounds, and now it'll be kicked from the 30-yard line. They'll move it back 5 yards.
Kickoff out of bounds. Re-kick with a 5-yard penalty.
Coyell, always an edgy guy, appears particularly so.
I can certainly understand his situation. He said, somebody help me. Get me out of this deal.
I love my mommy.
Get me out of here.
He puts on a show, doesn't he? I bet you he paces about 28 miles every game.
He does, Frank, he does have a wonderful offensive philosophy. If you watch the pass patterns that San Diego Chargers run, they really do run different routes than a lot of other teams in the league. His whole idea is that we're going to outscore you. And, you know, we mentioned Jack Pardee earlier. Jack Pardee has been brought in to try to shore up that defense. But basically, Coryell says, I'm going to outscore you anyway.
Well, he's going to have a problem because I just got word that Wes Chandler may have a pulled hamstring and may not be back tonight. So
well,
there goes one great receiver.
He's got Kellen Winslow and a lot of others, too.
As a youngster that was drafted #1 by Coryell, as we look at Bob Chandler, but when they drafted Brooks from Auburn, it was almost like that Coryell went back when he drafted Terry Metcalf from the St. Louis Cardinals. He does the same kinds of things. Good receiver, good rusher, good kick return man, and he's back now, awaiting the kick of Chris Barr. And it's short hopped and taken there by Pete Shaw. And Shaw gets out close to the 35-yard line. San Diego's first offensive possession here in the second half, and there's only 7:56 remaining in the third quarter, and Wes Chandler comes back into the game. But he missed a lot of time in the first half. He went out, I think, in the second series for San Diego. It was only used sparingly after that. It's Dwight Scales filling in. First down and 10, 35-yard line of San Diego. They lead now by 1 touchdown and a conversion. Chuck Muncie just bowling his way out over the 40-yard line for about 7 yards. Taken there by Rod Martin over the right side. Muncie, of course, well over 1,000 yards on his year. He's had 19 rushing touchdowns, by the way, for the season. That ties an NFL record for rushing touchdowns, held jointly by Jim Taylor and Earl Campbell. Second down, long 3, the ball at the 41-yard line. Chandler split left. Joyner in motion. Muncie, his surge, will pick up a San Diego first down over the 45-yard line.
I tell you, in terms of pure ability, I don't know of any player better in football. I really believe that. There are a couple of weaknesses: susceptibility to injury and the propensity for the fumble in critical situations. But in terms of pure ability, few, if any, have more than Chuck Muncie.
On 1st and 10, play action by Fouts. Fires short, intended for Charlie Joyner. Good defensive coverage by Monty Jackson, who is really playing to the form that the Raiders anticipated when they got him in 1978 as a former All-Pro with the Rams. They gave up a bunch of draft picks to get him, but over the past couple of years, he's been troubled so much with knee problems, but he is playing well tonight.
Joyner never did make him commit to that deep move. The ball was underthrown anyway, and you're right, Monty Jackson was right there.
And his brother Terry has become a star with the Giants.
Second down and 10, Muncie's out. Brooks is in, single setback, good receiver. Wide open on the left side, and Jimmy Brooks bangs for another San Diego first down. Stopped there by Burgess Owens. But this is a weapon, this young man.
That was interesting. As you see, the fact that he's another of the great ones from Auburn, all of whom played together at one point in time. Hard to figure why he was so alone on that run. whole defense pushed in.
One of those blocks where it really was a straight-ahead block, and they just left it up to him to pick a hole. The hole was outside, and he bounced there very quickly.
Brooks, now the leading all-purpose yardage gainer in the NFL this season. On first down and 10. Gets out of the arms of one tackler and then is thrown back to the 45-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1. It'll be second down and 11.
We just mentioned those great orphan backs. Look at William Andrews of Atlanta. Only the 5th play to gain over 2,000 yards rushing and receiving in one season. He did it this year, 2026.
Congratulations.
Tell you something about O.J. Simpson. He did it twice when they played 14 games.
You almost did it when they played 12, Shake. I know that.
Second down and 11. Kellen Winslow. Look at the big man. Turn it on. Down the sidelines he goes.
And a flag.
And the flag goes down, and Mike Davis gave Kellen Winslow a pop on the sidelines. And he jumps up. He's all right.
Face mask.
Face mask. It'll work against Oakland. 5:13 remaining here in the third quarter.
It's all winding down.
Yes, it is. And San Diego, at the moment at least, meeting the challenge. They must come through with a score here.
Personal foul, face mask, number 36 on the defense. First down.
Davis. Face mask of Kellen Winslow comes out of the ball game. He has now caught 3 on the night, 88 for the season. He is the NFL's leading receiver and now gunning for his own record for tight ends of 89 set a year ago. First down and 10, San Diego. Brooks. And Brooks at 185 pounds. Cracks for a couple of yards. Johnny Robinson in on the bottom of that pile from his nose tackle position. Gain of 2. It'll be second down and 8. And you mentioned Johnny Robinson, and it's another place where the Oakland Raiders have been hurt this year. They lost Reggie Kinlaw, their nose tackle, in the first preseason game with a knee injury. Johnny Robinson, a rookie who had never played that position, has been doing a fine job considering his lack of experience over the year at that position. Second down and 8. Winslow in motion. Wide open, Joyner, and Joyner's inside the 15 to the 13. First down, San Diego.
Well, they just got so many combinations where they can hurt you. That time, Winslow was out to the wide side, cleared it deep. Joyner comes back from his slot position, moves out to the outside. You see Kellen Winslow, number 80 right there, and taking the defensive back deep, cleaned out a hole. Joyner's been hurt a little bit all night tonight.
Yeah, but now you're seeing San Diego at its offensive best. A brilliant drive, brilliantly directed by Dan Fouts. When they play this way, offensively at least, they're awesome.
Muncy, left side, and Muncy close to the 10-yard line. Gain of a couple. It'll be second down and 8. And indeed, when San Diego gets things untracked, their offense is almost self-generating. They seem to run the plays faster.
They really do, don't they? I love the holiday seasons, and we're getting into them, so I'd like to wish a happy Hanukkah to my family and friends. This is Hanukkah today, and we're getting ready for Christmas coming up.
Well, may I join you?
Please do.
Them the happiest of holiday seasons.
Thank
Frank.
you.
Second down and 8. Scales is in motion. Muncy. Muncy inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. It'll be third down and 4. And we have had one possession by Oakland. This is San Diego's first possession here in the third quarter, and we have less than 3 minutes remaining in the third quarter.
You see another little piece of tape there on Muncy's face, and that was when the helmet that in the first half when he was hit. See there, his right cheekbone. He lost his helmet. One of you talk about Muncy. You know, Muncy wears glasses, and as you can obviously see right there, I think that's one of the things that, that's difficult. He doesn't have the best of vision. If he could get it into a situation where he could find some contact lenses that would fit him, It's just a little bit more difficult to have those glasses that he wears.
Timeout called by San Diego. Dan Fouts did not like the personnel, did not like the play call, or something to that effect, because he takes timeout, moves over to the sideline, and we'll be back. The Goodyear blimp hovering high overhead at Columbia on a fine night for football here in Southern California at San Diego. Temperature at kickoff time, 61 degrees, a shot of Jack Murphy Stadium here in San Diego. Sold out, obviously, for this game to determine who will represent the AFC Western Division in the playoff game against Miami, January the 2nd. A win by San Diego, they go to Miami. A loss by San Diego, and it will be the Denver Broncos, and you've been watching quarterback Craig Morton of the Broncos watching with us all night long. 3rd down and 4 for the Chargers. The ball at the 8-yard line of Oakland. Fouts with the quick flip to Muncie, and Muncie is hit at the 9-yard line. There will be a loss of 1, and out comes Rolf Benerschka. Benerschka is already hit from 24 yards out. Having a fine year, 17 of 24. They let him kick from quite a distance, too. His long, this far of the season, 52 yards. But this will be an effort of 27. Ed Luther is the holder. Bob Rush is the snapper. Benerschka adds 3 to the San Diego tally. And it's San Diego 20, the Oakland Raiders 10. We'll be returning to San Diego in just a moment. San Diego, Frank Gifford with Howard Cosell, Don Meredith. Our final Monday night telecast of the season. We hope you've enjoyed them. We hope you're enjoying tonight as the final playoff position is decided for the 81 season. Benerschka set to kick. Malcolm Barnwell is deep. Barnwell from the 8-yard line. And Barnwell taken there and dropped by Bob Greger. A nice tackle at the 19-yard line. They'll mark it out of the 20. So Barnwell is seeing a lot of action tonight. Cliff Branch, their fine wide receiver, did not play at all in the first half. And now as we look down into the Oakland Raider huddle, Cliff Branch will see his first action of the night as Barnwell gets a breather. 1st and 10, the Oakland Raiders. They trail by 10. Branch is split left. Chandler, top of your screen, in motion now. Hawkins. And Hawkins works his way out to the 24-yard line underneath the 6'4" Lyndon King.
Frank, you've been in a situation where it's late in the season, or maybe you haven't. I don't know. Did you ever play on a team where it was all over, you know, in the last 3 or 4 games, and you're playing a contending team, and you don't have much to lose? They say, well, hey, they could try everything. And I think teams do, and this is what Oakland needs to do. They've got to pull out all the stops right now for them to win this thing. They're in a hole.
2nd down and 6. Hawkins again. And Hawkins powers his way out to the 27-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and about 3.
Well, I didn't agree with you in specific terms on the first call. I do on the second call.
What was that?
Well, they have to pull out some stops.
Yeah, that was not what I was...
At the same time, they shouldn't panic.
Well, not panic,
but plenty of time.
They're in a position, basically what I'm saying, to go against, you know, by this time of the year, teams with all the computers and whatever they have, they know, they chart their tendencies. They know what they like to do. If you're ever going to go against the tendencies, this is the game you do it.
The guy who's changed the game this year is Bill Walsh.
3rd down and 3. Mark Wilson looks it over, and like Dan Fouts a few moments ago, did not like the setup, his personnel, the defense. He calls timeout and moves over to the sidelines.
I just amplify on that, Don. The great thing that Bill Walsh has done this year with San Francisco is he's changed the 49ers' tendencies every week, and it's befuddled a lot of teams.
They've certainly put together a very good year, as you see some consultation there on the sideline, and we'll be right back.
Back in San Diego, only 17 seconds remain in the 3rd quarter. The Oakland Raiders have the football at their own 27-yard line. 3rd down and 3. And the crowd once again on their feet. They've been that way most of the night.
And all sides.
Movement. Mark Wilson drop back at the 20-yard line, but you saw the flags being thrown.
And it's Gary Johnson, unless
he was drawn off,
false start on that offensive line.
It will give the Oakland Raiders a first down.
We've seen 3 of those kinds of mistakes tonight, and those are the kind of things that I've mentioned earlier. You really don't see this late in the season often. Yes, and there it was.
That gives Oakland a big break.
First down.
The referee, Jerry Seaman.
Offside, number 79 defense. First down.
This time, Gary Johnson not drawn offside, and Oakland has a first down at their own 32-yard line.
Big hands in there too early.
Big hands let one of them slip, didn't he?
Gary Johnson anchors that right side, led the league a year ago with sacks with over 17. Play action by Wilson. With Branch. And Branch has a first down and more to the 47-yard line of San Diego. And a very cool move by Mark Wilson.
He got that one off, didn't he, Frank? Just as John Woodcock got there.
So Mark Wilson has moved the Oakland Raiders into San Diego territory as time has expired here in the third quarter. There it is. The end of the third with the score San Diego 20, Oakland 10. We'll return for the fourth quarter after this message from our local stations. We begin the fourth quarter here in San Diego for the Chargers, and we keep reminding you a win tonight. They are the divisional champions of the AFC West, and they will meet Miami January the 2nd, a loss, and Denver will meet Miami. First down and 10. The Oakland Raiders are at the 47-yard line of the San Diego Chargers as we begin the fourth and final period. Wilson with the blitz on, going deep.
No
and
chance.
Cliff Branch. Still drawing double coverage back there was Glenn Edwards and Allen Ellis. And let's take a look at the numbers for the third quarter.
All right, as you look at those numbers, you see that Oakland is held together, is playing San Diego tough, even with a decimated team by injuries and other factors. But the turnovers became the key factor. Forget time of possession, that's equal and not necessarily the determinant anyway. Here's Frank.
Second down, 10. Linewell is left now. Branch getting a breather. Chandler in motion. Derek Jensen. And Jensen out of bounds at the 45-yard line. A pickup of a couple. And we'll have a third down and 8. Jensen, who has been filling in most of the season for the injured Mark Van Eegen, a third-year man out of the University of Texas at Arlington.
Well, this is probably the biggest third down for Oakland in this game.
Chargers with 44 sacks coming into tonight, as opposed to their league-leading 60 of a year ago.
Here's a situation where I think what Oakland might even think about having 2 plays to make the first down.
Wilson.
First bounce.
I thought it was a pickup.
I did.
No, incomplete.
It was a pickup.
Yeah,
That was a
bounce.
one-hop. The crowd will love it. Cliff Branch will not complain. And it'll bring up fourth down, and Ray Guy, for what at least intends to be a punting effort. Let's look again. It was a quick bounce.
See, one of the reasons that is it's so easy up here, but he tried to pick up the first down with that one play. In a situation where Oakland is, they don't have that much to lose. They could have had a possibility of running that play where they could have paid 2. We've already shown Ray Guy in a position where we know he can throw, and the only place we see him throw tonight, he completed.
I think he's going to kick, but I would throw.
Well, San Diego is looking for anything but a punt.
He'll kick.
Ray Guy kicking it high.
Oh, come on.
And hustling down there was Otis McKinney, but he could not get to the ball, and San Diego will have possession at their own 20-yard line after the touchback. And out comes Dan Faust, 14-32. Remaining here in the fourth quarter, and perhaps a divisional title for the Chargers.
Yesterday, when Chicago played you guys, they pulled out all the stops. They did everything.
They tried fake punts, fake field goals. They came after us with a lot of blitzes, and that's what I'm hoping Oakland's going to do. They got nothing to lose.
Yeah, you were a little surprised they didn't do it that time.
Well, I'm real surprised. Plus, they'd help us a lot.
Okay.
Well, we understand.
Yeah, I do.
Put it on the table, Craig. That's the way.
San Diego up now, 1st and 10, the ball at their own 20-yard line. Only their second possession here in the second half. They only had the ball one time in the third quarter.
Look at that.
Rod Martin forces the pass out of the arms of Dan Fouts. It'll be ruled incomplete, and Dan Fouts is staying. Well, now he's getting up slowly. I'll tell you, he is one tough guy. This was his 51st consecutive start tonight.
But that's what Craig just said. Blitzes, everything, and Rod Martin came in.
You saw Winslow pick him up, and Winslow was the guy that didn't block Martin coming in there. So if you're going to get knocked down, at least somebody, the guy that's responsible, help him up.
The viewers just saw you manually.
Hiya.
Second down and 10. Muncy squeezing the football. Chuck Muncy gets a yard. It'll be 3rd down and 9.
They're really playing conservatively for the San Diego Chargers.
They really are. Anything but the usual San Diego offensive charge.
Don Coryell, always pacing. That anxious look that only goes with years of coaching. Somewhere between genius and insanity.
Thought you were talking about somebody else I know.
3rd and 9. Fouts. Scales cannot come down with it. In between the zone defenders, Otis McKinney and Mike Davis. It'll be 4th down in San Diego. 3 downs and a punt on their second possession.
3 downs and over, and the pulse speed of Craig Martin quickens.
Well, that's also, it could be a very significant series of plays, that last one, because we do have plenty of time going. Hey, how much time do we have? 13:45. Yeah, it's 9:21 out here. That's what I was looking at.
Ted Watts at his 43-yard line for Oakland. George Roberts back to punt. Fair catch called for by Watts. He had a lot of running room.
I don't believe that.
And the rookie from Texas Tech will think about that again tonight, because he could have run that back at least 10 yards before he could have even had any possible contact with the Chargers.
Low kick. Sure could have.
I don't believe that.
There'll be other days, Ted. He's a good one. 1st and 10, Oakland. They'll have the ball near their own 40-yard line. And they have been able offensively to do pretty much what they want. They've been hurt by their own mistakes and by lack of being able to get it in when they have moved down deep into San Diego territory.
I suspect that the failure to get the field goal before the end of the first half may be, in the ultimate, the critical point in this game, Don.
I think that let's see, what would that be? Not your suspicion, it would be your how would I say that? You suspect, and if I'm going to agree with your suspecting, what would I say?
Well, that I have a prescience that's unique.
I wouldn't take it that far, but you may have a point.
1st and 10, Oakland. Wilson is back. And the big, tall, lanky quarterback throws it over the outstretched arms of the defensive lineman, intended for Hawkins out of the backfield, incomplete. 2nd down and 10. Jim Plunkett, in case you joined us late, started tonight's game. He was dizzy, nauseous, had to leave the game. Mark Wilson was not expected to play. Suffered a sprained thumb against the Chicago Bears a week ago, but he has gone pretty much all the way tonight. 2nd down and 10. Branch split to the left.
He's got that first hopper going.
To Bob Chandler. It'll be 3rd down and 10.
I tell you, the receivers are very good on pickups.
Should be playing cricket.
They're impressing Bobby Grish, who's in the next
Another
group.
reminder about ABC's Wide World of Sports coming up this Saturday, 5 o'clock Eastern, the Pacific, 4 o'clock Central, the World men's all-around gymnastics championship, that from Moscow. And Skate America, a stunning group of the world's best for a new international contest. You'll see it in Wide World of Sports Saturday here on ABC. Third down and 10. Wilson. Branch has the first down at the 43-yard line. That ball was almost picked off. Stepping right in front of it was Allen Ellis. It went right through his hands. Cliff Branch, with great concentration, came down with it. First down, Oakland.
It really, truly looked from here that it did go right through Ellis's hands. He was well covered. Let's see it again. That's it. How Branch held on to that ball, I don't know. It bounced off his shoulder pad and wound up with it.
Just under 13 minutes remaining to be played. Oakland able to move the ball all night long. They trail, however, 20 to 10. Here comes Frank Hawkins, right side. Defensive effort there on the left side of the line, headed by the big man, Louis Kelcher. Larry Johnson also in there. Leroy Jones is playing tonight for San Diego. He was not expected to play. He has a very bad back. But if San Diego loses tonight, their season is over. A season began way back there in July. And it's all coming down perhaps to this final quarter. Second down and 11. Wilson going for Chandler. Incomplete. He was dueling Willie Buchanan.
Good defensive play by Buchanan. He really did have him in there. The ball was thrown a little bit through a receiver. By through a receiver, you didn't put him out in front, let him run and get it. But you'll see he had some pretty good time to throw. Laid the ball up. You'll see Chandler move out to his outside to try to get it. Had the ball been thrown a little more out in front of him, maybe Chandler could have stayed on his stride and had a better chance to catch.
That was an excellent defensive play
It
by
was.
Willie, who used to play for Don Coryell right here in San Diego, at San Diego State. One of the first players Coryell traded for. Got him from Green Bay. First in a 7th-round draft pick in '79. Third down and 11, Oakland. Crowd once again on his feet. Down goes Wilson. Leroy Jones is there defensively. Sacked all the way back to the 47-yard line. It'll be fourth down.
Biggest defensive play of this football.
Bad. Leroy Jones.
By a man who was not expected to play, forced into action when Wilbur Young was hurt. And Leroy Jones makes the big play for the defense.
He is. Big, bad Leroy Jones. Meaner than a junkyard dog.
Ray Guy is on for Oakland. Brooks is deep for San Diego. Brooks at his 10-yard line. There he is. A leader in the AFC in punt returns after 15 games. Ray Guy pounds it high and long. And Brooks, with a nifty move, gets it out to the 17-yard line. And San Diego will have their third possession here in the second half with 11:23 remaining in the fourth quarter. For Dan Fouts, who is rewriting his own 15-yard line, first and 10, a little more than 11 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter. And San Diego leading 20 to 10. Wes Chandler back in the game, split out to the right. I understand he's having a hamstring problem. Fouts, Joyner underneath. The Joyner gets the first down out over the 30-yard line. Hit there by Randy McClanahan.
Now that's the way I like to see San Diego play. Their real game. First down pass in their own territory. Not trying to cling protectively to the lead, but going at the opponent. Fouts to Joyner. That's the way to do it.
Money Jackson was the defender who had Joyner on the outside, released him to the inside, and that's where he was picked up by Fouts.
Joyner, 68th reception of the year. This is Muncie. And Muncie taken from behind. Defensively, as we see a flag go down, it was Ted Hendricks.
First time you've called his name tonight, Frank. We were talking about him earlier in the telecast. But Ted's been pretty well neutralized. They either have not been running in his direction, or he hasn't been able to come up with it. That's the first time he's really been in on a tackle.
It appears to be an Oakland penalty. Face mask. That'll be marked off. I wondered why Muncie stopped so abruptly.
Someone
That will do it.
Yeah. It's not a flagrant violation, so therefore just 5 yards.
But a first down.
Personal foul, face mask, number 68 on the defense. First down.
Johnny Robinson, the nose tackle. Joyner now 68 receptions, having another great year for San Diego. Capoletti. Rod Martin has him corralled. Gain of about a yard. It'll be second down and 9.
Handoff to John Capoletti.
Dave Browning.
53, Rod Martin.
Slow getting up. Dave Browning, the youngster that's come on so strong for the Oakland Raiders. Good pass rushing.
Exactly right. He's had a remarkable year, even in this year of unexpected decline for the Raiders. He's become a great player.
The youngster they bring in for Dave Browning is Howard Long, a rookie second-round draft pick. He, too, is a fine defensive lineman. He'll work over the right side, wearing number 75. Dave Browning out of Villanova, 6'5", 265. San Diego with the second down and 9. Muncie. No opening whatsoever. Muncie works it for about a yard and a half. It'll be third down and 7.
I really do.
That's conservative.
Yeah, they
play.
really are trying to protect the 10-point lead. It's maybe good football, and I'm not saying it's not. It's just uncharacteristic of San Diego. You see them put the ball in the air no matter what.
I like to see them go at the other team. Take full advantage of their extraordinary offensive person.
Then you're becoming a very good fan. That's what fans like to see. They go at them, right? None of this hesitation stuff.
Third down, 7. Apologize for that.
I don't think you should.
Bounce. Joyner, first down. And in open territory, close to the 49-yard line. Monty Jackson had good position, but on a slant play like that, the only way you can stop it is to interfere with the receiver, and now Joyner is slow getting up.
Remember the game when we saw Joyner get knocked out 3 times into the locker room, out again, in again, out again.
1979 was for a divisional title.
Oh, what a player.
The only one with more recuperative powers than Joyner is Carl Harrison from Philadelphia.
First and 10, and we notice that Dave Browning is back in defensively for Oakland, number 73. Muncie. Out of the grasp of Ted Hendricks, and turns what appeared to be about a 4-yard loss into a 3-yard pickup. Strong is Chuck Muncie, 6'3", 220-pounder. Former first-round draft pick of New Orleans. Of course, came after the start of the season a year ago. Had a lot of fumble problems a year ago. Cut the fumble number down this year, but really hurt San Diego in the Buffalo game, the Minnesota game. Second down, 7. Muncie. Big opening. Muncie with another first down on the ground to the 38-yard line.
I tell you, he's something.
He really is. Matuzak is screaming at every official inside. He's saying, someone's holding me. And they ran right by him that time for the first down. So it's one of the two. He missed the tackle or someone was holding him.
This time, conservative or no, San Diego is running off valuable time on the clock. 7:35, and it's moving.
I'm not really criticizing what they're doing, Frank. It's just, I just think it's unusual. It's not what their pattern is, and they aren't eating up the clock, but it's not typically San Diego offensive football.
Chandler in motion.
Look out.
Rod Martin on the blitz, and Fouts goes down.
Capoletti missed him that time.
First sack of the night. 19th of the season, and Fouts again slow getting up.
He's not used to that because he didn't get trapped that much.
Well, this stage of the year, the fans know the players. From 3 networks, they've heard much of the same thing. But Rod Martin has had some year. Unbelievable.
That's his 10th sack of the season. For a
11.
linebacker, that's pretty good numbers.
I think it's the 11th, Frank.
Could be right.
How about 10 or 11?
Either way, he's had a good year.
Second down, 19, 47-yard line. Fouts throwing it low. Incomplete.
Fouts is limping a little bit.
Monty Jackson. Third down, 19. 6:54 remaining on the clock.
I tell you that Browning got up, and he's in there, and I'll say this for Oakland. Under difficult circumstances, they have played tough. Their mistakes have cost them, but they have hung in there.
You know, they may have fallen into this old trap of being a Super Bowl champ, thinking that they didn't have to work as hard to stay there. That's one of the most difficult things. You see champions come back and repeat. They didn't get off to a good start.
Fouts. Great leaping catch. Wes Chandler comes down with the ball. He has a first down at the 27-yard line. And what a great catch that was. And you've got to know that Chandler knew that he was going to be hit. Kept his concentration, the eyes on the ball. And that could be one big play for the Chargers.
Frank, look at the secondary. You'll see a roll-up on this side by Monty Jackson. They're into a zone. They've all dropped deep. Chandler cuts across the middle. Lester Hayes, 37, is right there. 44, Burgess Owens hits him. The ball was perfectly thrown. That was good defense. Good catch by Chandler.
Great throw.
Could have been one of the biggest catches of his career. First down and 10. The clock keeps moving. Muncy pulling ahead for about 3.
That was what really was a beautiful offensive play, in that there were so many things had to happen. It was actually fairly good defensive coverage. Chandler ran a good route. The ball was thrown. It had to be within like a number 2 washtub. You couldn't miss him much further than that. So it was right there on time, and Chandler caught it as he was hit.
And Jeff Barnes, number 56, couldn't believe it.
Muncy's coming up. Seems to be limping a little bit.
In comes Brooks. That was Chandler's 69th reception of the season. Fouts gets the ball to Joyner for an apparent first down, or yardage for the first down, but a flag is down. Burgess Owens was there defensively as Fouts and Joyner connected to the 10-yard line, and this one looks like it's going to go against San Diego.
Frank,
Illegal motion for Chargers.
You believe Joyner, Frank?
Well, I do, because I've been watching him since 1968. He is really something. He did it for Houston. He did it for Cincinnati. And when he finally joined up with Coryell and Fouts, he's become remarkable.
Illegal motion, right tackle, offense.
Look at those statistics on those 3 receivers. Gives you just an index to the superb offensive strength of this San Diego team. When they play that game, there's no offense like it in football.
Second down, 13. Scales is in. 3 wide receivers and Winslow. Draw play, Brooks. Rod Martin meets it. Now it'll be third down and about 9.
We're down to 5 minutes.
And ticking away. And for the Denver Broncos and their young rookie coach, Danny Reeves, who had a tremendous year out there, by the way, at 10-6 with the Broncos. I know they're looking on. And seconds are also ticking away for them.
Really is. Danny Reeves, as you guys know, is a good friend of mine. I really was proud of him for the first year. He's going to
third and long. Fouts looking. Gets it out to Joyner once again. This time, Joyner is stopped far short of the first down at the 21-yard line, and we will see Ralph Benushka on fourth down. 20-10. San Diego over Oakland. And Benushka is on to attempt to make it a 13-point lead.
I just say this, Frank, and it may be premature. But if San Diego wins this game, there's been a great gentleman with us tonight, and his name is Craig Morton. And he has proved himself, even late in his playing years, as one of the great players.
39-yard attempt.
Couldn't agree more.
Wow. 13-point lead with 3:46 remaining in the game. Not awfully secure, but terribly comfortable at this point. Time grows shorter for the Oakland Raiders, not to mention the Denver Broncos. 3:46 remaining in the game. Ralph Benushka, who is 3 for 3 on a perfect night, set to kick off. Deep is Malcolm Barnwell and Clee Montgomery. Benushka, high kick. This will be Clee Montgomery, the little brother of Wilbert Montgomery. Flag goes down as Montgomery gets out to the 20-yard line.
Flag.
And it will be against the Oakland Raiders.
Bum, 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 bum.
And will they mark it off? We'd like to remind you that tonight, Nightline will focus on the continuing crisis in Poland with reports on Solidarity leader Lech Walesa and Poland's ambassador to the U.S., Raul Staskowski, who has defected to our country. Watch Nightline with Ted Koppel tonight on that continuing crisis in Poland.
And Frank, if I may I go ahead and say this about that. This telecast is presented by the authority of the National Football League, and it is intended for the private use of our audience, and any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the National Football League is prohibited.
1st and 10 from inside their own 10-yard line. Oakland goes to the air. Wilson,
Get up.
Hawkins out of the backfield, and Hawkins gets to his feet, gets close to a first down near the 20-yard line before Lyndon King is there defensively for San Diego. It was already starting to lay off these receivers, taking the deep drops with the linebackers.
They've got it now, no question about it. I'd just like to repeat what I said about a man named Craig Morton.
I think that is well taken. Craig has had a terrific career, had a good one this year. Doesn't look good for him right now.
Wilson, in and out of the hands of Chandler, incomplete. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Chandler looks to be shaken up a little bit, Frank. He was kind of squeezed in there sandwich style that time. The ball was thrown there pretty good, but good defensive coverage. Buchanan was at the back of him. Let's take another look.
Again, we'll remind you that Bob Chandler came back from a terrible injury early in the season. He ruptured his spleen in the opener against Denver. Had it surgically removed. And now he is so getting up once again. We'll be returning to San Diego right after this message. Bob Chandler appears to be all right. He walked off the field. There's not 1 ounce of quit in that youngster, I'll tell you that. Youngster only in age because he's been around 11 years. They have been superb years. 2nd down and 10 for the Oakland Raiders. The ball at their own 20-yard line. 2 minutes, 56 seconds remaining in the game. Whittington back in the game, number 22. And Wilson will go up on top. Incomplete. Cliff Branch, intended receiver.
You're a couple of incompletions away from calling this one a night.
It was Mike Williams who was covering Cliff Branch. They're queuing you up, Don.
Well, it really is that time. I'm going to give them one. Let's give them one more time. If they don't pick up a 1st down here, you got it.
You're turning out a lot of lights. For
I'm going to turn them all out. This is like
a lot of Broncos.
A lot of Broncos, a lot of good pals up there. Hate to do it, but, you know, you got to do it when you got to do it.
3rd down and 10.
That's it.
Batted away. It'll be 4th down. One would suspect that Oakland will come back for another pass play.
So sorry, but that's the way it goes. Turn out the lights. The party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over.
I don't believe it.
And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing again. Merry Christmas.
Whatever you say, Dandy.
Fourth down, Oakland will go at their own 20-yard line. Crowd on their feet, standing defense. Wilson incomplete. San Diego will take over. First down at 10 at their own 20-yard line. 2:42 remaining on the clock.
Let's just look at the fans. There they are. Chet 40 on top of it. The Monday night dominance of Oakland is over, at least for the night. 18-2-1. You saw the sign. And our congratulations to the San Diego Chargers.
Somebody had predicted it would end. The Oakland Raiders had won 14 in a row up until tonight. And while it's not over, it is getting awfully dark. Football in America, specifically San Diego. This crowd has not stopped cheering, waving their banners, waving their pom-poms since the final fourth down incompletion by Mark Wilson. There's still 2 minutes and 42 seconds left in the game, but San Diego, with ball possession here in the second half, appears as though they are going to go on to win the Western Division of the AFC and meet Miami on January the 2nd. Dan Fouts, by the way, has extended or broken his own NFL record for attempts, completions, and yardage in a single season. We'll give you the update on that in a moment. Meanwhile, first down and 10 for the Chargers at Oakland's 20-yard line. Muncie over the left side, and Muncie for about 3. It'll be 2nd and 7. There's the owner, Gene Klein. There's no secret. There's no love lost between Gene Klein and Al Davis. Gene Klein having testified against Al Davis in his attempt to move to Los Angeles this past summer. Immediately following that, he suffered a heart attack. He is in great shape. He's lost about 40 pounds, and he is one happy-looking owner at this point. Heading down to the 2-minute warning. Dan Fouts on the year, 609 attempts, 360 completions. He has raised elevated the yardage for a pass in a single year to 4,803 yards here tonight. There is the 2-minute warning. And there are going to be bananas in San Diego for the rest of the night. As well they should be. They will tie on the record with Denver at 10-6, but they lose in the tiebreaker. I rattled off some of the statistics as we look at the owner of the Oakland Raiders, Al Davis, and this has got to hurt owner Al Davis. They have not had a losing season in Oakland since 1964. They're going to have one this year.
I'd like to say this about Al Davis. I don't care where you stand on the lawsuit. Alvin Pete Rozelle, the commissioner of the NFL, would be the first to tell you that in football terms, nobody does it better. He is a football genius. And this has been very difficult for him. Here's Frank.
Second down, 7. Cappelletti. Both hands squeezing the football. Cappelletti navigates down to about the 8-yard line, where it'll be 3rd down and 3. This ABC Sports exclusive has been brought to you by Light Beer, everything you always wanted in a beer and less, and by Datsun, who invite you to see all the exciting new 1982 Datsun cars and trucks at your Datsun dealer today. Oakland now has 1 timeout. And the NFL playoff season will begin this Sunday, the 27th, with the wild cards in action. Buffalo will be at the New York Jets. The Giants will be at Philadelphia. And then the divisional playoffs begin January the 2nd. Tampa Bay will be at Dallas. And it appears as though San Diego will be up against Don Shula's Miami Dolphins. And we will be back with you January 31st with the annual Pro Bowl.
But you and I won't be there.
Yeah, and Susan, I'm coming home. I've done my time. If I can just see one yellow ribbon, I'm going to make it there. I'll guarantee you.
Stop letting you travel without Susan.
I know. Oh, boy. Hot doggies. Oh,
154 remaining in the game. Third down. Long 3 for the Chargers. Jeff Muncie. Well, what are you going to say when a running back carries the ball in the wrong hand and he does something like that?
You know, Frank, I don't know that, records do mean something, but didn't you tell me earlier he needs one more touchdown to break the record for a rushing touchdown?
He is tied at the moment with Jim Taylor and Earl Campbell with 19 rushing touchdowns.
And they may give it to him a few more times. That'll be nice and gentlemanly.
If they have time and enough down.
First down, goal to go. Muncie stops the clock at 1:49.
Let's just see if they don't do that. I'll bet you they do.
Scales will go right. Capoletti and Muncie, the setbacks. Capoletti.
Well, maybe they won't.
Maybe ekes a yard out. It'll be second down, goal to go.
It doesn't really matter, does it?
No, not really.
No,
Well, they just want to get him down a little closer.
That's true.
It does to Chuck. Sure it does. He's
Oakland
taken
again.
a lot of raps in his time.
It certainly has.
Erratic, not to be dependent upon, all of that. But I'll tell you, he's a horse.
And a horse and a half sometimes.
Call him a hoss one more time. I'm going to get ill.
Oh. Well, Frank, you've only got 1 minute and 10 seconds to go, buddy. 12 years.
Second and goal. Muncie again carrying that ball in the right hand. And this time, Muncie stops at the line of scrimmage. It'll be third down. Oakland still has not used their timeout. Third down, goal to go.
There's a man. You just saw Flores. There's Gene Klein. It's a great night for him.
Oakland has called timeout.
Gene. And congratulations to you, Al. In your card suit, you didn't give the attention to your team that has been the case in the past, and that is a consequential part of the reason for Oakland. San Diego, well, you know where they'll be going. There are the playoffs. Buffalo at the Jets, Giants in Philadelphia, San Diego at Miami, Tampa Bay at Dallas. Going to be a very interesting year with the whole turnabout. The whole turnabout. And San Francisco with the best record in football, 13-3. And I don't see how anybody can deny Bill Walsh the coach of the year. Honest.
If they do, that will be some kind of robbery. Talk about a kindergarten turning into a potential Super Bowl team.
You know, I think he's been able to do something that I think is very important. He's got a lot of young players. I'm talking about Bill Walsh. And he somehow allowed them not to think about that they're young and they're going to make those mistakes. They go out there and play like veterans.
Third and goal to go. Muncie trying to get it in.
He wanted it, didn't he?
He needs the one touchdown to become the all-time NFL rushing leader in touchdowns for a single season.
Whom do you think will carry the ball now?
I would give it to Muncie with 25. They may not give it to anybody. They may just call it right now. They don't have to run another play.
Well, it could be they're not even aware. And yet they were gesticulating over to the Don Coryell. Can we call timeout?
No, they can't call timeout. They're all gone.
They do call timeout.
Oh, wait a minute. San Diego called timeout.
Excuse timeout, and I think it is just to discuss that one statistic or one potential record, and of course it would be Muncie's.
I don't know that the Oakland Raiders will appreciate that very much.
But they don't like each other anyway, so
that doesn't make any difference.
That's true, but it's kind of a nice thing to see.
Well, the players wanted to do it. Don Coryell told them first they couldn't do it, and then they called timeout anyway.
Of course. Game is in hand.
8 seconds remain.
One of the few times you've made an understatement. The game is in hand.
Nobody likes a wife.
You do.
Gene Klein again working the sidelines, obviously delighted with the outcome of tonight's game, and again we'll just Tell the Denver Broncos what a great season they gave their fans.
They are standing as one in this stadium. For the moment, at least. Poland forgotten, Israel forgotten, happiness.
He didn't make it, and he fumbled.
We have the clock stopped at 2 seconds, and it does appear Chuck Muncie on the 4th down will miss in his attempt to get that 20th touchdown, and he will remain tied with Jim Taylor and Earl Campbell.
Well, they may have called another timeout, Frank. They got 2 seconds left.
Well, the clock is stopped at 2 seconds on a change of offensive and defensive teams.
That won't help Chuck.
No.
We will have to run one more play. Rather anticlimatical, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. Oh, me. Happy holidays to you two guys. I won't see you for a while. Sure been fun.
I'll be thinking about you, Don. Howard, sliding down the old mountain.
I love
Don't
it.
break your leg again.
No, won't happen
Promise
that.
me. Frank, I'm worried about you.
Heading for my Rocky Mountains.
The passing years have taken their toll, Frank. You understand.
Happy holidays to all the folks in Santa Fe. That's where I'm going.
Been a phenomenal year for Monday Night Football. We're very proud of it. Record ratings. It's only normal that we'd feel good about it.
The final play of the season for the Oakland Raiders. They will record their first losing season since 1964. And the Chargers will go on to meet Miami in the divisional playoff January the 2nd. There is Tank Younger, general manager of the San Diego Chargers and a former great with the Rams in his own right. And, of course, Gene Klein, the owner. And for the young Mark Wilson, one has to suspect there will be many, many more years and many better years.
Greg, I want to congratulate you, and I want to congratulate